From cold Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh with Bob Prince and Ellie King to greet you for the final regular season game in 1974. The Pirates take on the Chicago Cubs. Following Bob Robertson's home run of last night that won the game for the Bucs 6-5, the magic number, it's down to 1. A Pirate win here tonight would give them their 4th Eastern Division title. Meanwhile, up in Montreal, the Montreal-St. Louis Cardinal ball game has been postponed because of very inclement weather up there, snow and rain, and should it be necessary, that game will be played tomorrow at 12 noon. But a Buck win here tonight can make it all academic, and of course I will tell you that this will not be the last game played at Three Rivers, no matter what the outcome is here tonight. The weather very, very cold. The crowd's still filing in here tonight, and a much better turnout than we've had the last couple of evenings. And I'll be back to set the starting lineups for this very big ball game after I remind you that this game is brought to you in part by your Pirate Land Chrysler Plymouth dealer, who has immediate delivery on America's #1 selling compact. By Joy, nature's high-protein food for dogs. Higher in protein, and it still costs less than most other brands. And by your friends from Iron City Beer. When you're really ready to pour on the iron. Quite a turnaround season for the Pirates, off to a very poor start. They lost 10 of their first 12 ball games in their first 6 in a row. They were in last place on the 15th of June, and the lowest point of the season was when they were 14 games back, or 14 games under 500 with an 18-32 mark in 6th place, 9 games back. They have turned it around in the second half of the year. The pitching has stayed just about as it was, despite the fact the loss of Kenny Brett in the second half of the year. Guys like Doc Ellis and Larry Demery have picked up the slack there, and the hitting suddenly has gotten hot, as Danny Murtaugh had anticipated it would. The final game of the season will find Jim Rooker with a record of 15-11. He's been the most consistent pitcher for the Pirates, going against Rick Russian, and we'll tell you more about Danny Murtaugh and his patience with pitchers and the way he manages. But first, here are the starting lineups. For the Chicago Cubs against Rooker, who, by the way, has not beaten them so far this year. He has dropped 3 games, 1-0 in Chicago, 3-2 in Chicago, and lost 4-3 here back on August the 4th. He's pitched 3 good games, but has not picked up a victory against the Cubs this year. Rick Mundy will lead it off. He'll be in center field. Don Kessinger will bat second and play at short. Jose Cardinal will be in left field. He'll bat third. Bill Madlock in the cleanup spot will be playing at third base. Jerry Morales will bat fifth. He'll play in right field. The first baseman tonight, Carmen Fanzone, will bat sixth. A rookie catcher, Steve Swisher, will bat seventh. Another rookie, Rob Sperring, will be at second base and bat eighth. And the pitcher will be Rick Russell with a record of 13 wins and 12 defeats. He is 3-1 against the Bucs this season, beating us 7-1 here on the 14th of May with a complete ball game. He shut us out in Chicago 3-0 on the 20th of June on 12 hits, and he beat us 4-3 here back on the 3rd of August. Last time we faced him, we knocked him out of the box early to beat him 12-4 on the 10th of September. Pirates taking the field. Here's our starting lineup. Stennett leads it off. He's at second base. Richie Hebner at third base will bat second. Al Oliver in center field, hitting third. In the cleanup spot in left field, Willie Stargell. The right fielder, Richie Zisk, will bat fifth. The catcher batting sixth, Manny Sanguine. Ed Kirkpatrick at first base will bat seventh. The shortstop, Frank Tavares, will hit eighth. And the pitcher will be Jim Rooker with a record of 15 wins and 11 defeats. A cold night, but the crowd is very enthusiastic here. As the Pirates were introduced, they just stood up en masse around this stadium and gave them a standing ovation. They'll remain standing for our national anthem. were talking earlier about the patience of Daniel Murtaugh, the manager of the Pirates, and we lost a ball game in St. Louis, 13-12, when the Cardinals scored 4 times on the bottom of the, I guess it was the 11th or 12th inning. I can't recall. I know it was a rather long evening. The exact innings I fail to remember, but I know the total score was 13-12, and the Pirates blew a 3-run lead in extra innings. And there was a lot of criticism that Murtaugh didn't go with a more veteran pitcher, one of his starters, to wind up that ball game. And he said the reason he didn't do it, he wanted to stay with the pitching rotation that he's had all season long, and he wasn't going to mess it up for just one ball game. There was some criticism of that. But he has stayed with it, and the only loss this ball club has suffered so far came in New York on Sunday when Bob Apodaca beat Kenny Brett. Now, he stayed with a steady rotation of Rooker and Royce in particular, never has gone to the bullpen with those two fellas, and they have done a whale of a job. Rooker has stated that the last 2 games he has pitched against the Cardinals, and they were very big ball games, both of them. Every time he worked against the Cardinals, the last 2 times out, the Pirates were behind a game and a half, and it was a very pivotal ball game in the season. He had complete game outings in both of them. Went 9 innings, that is. We won the game in the 10th inning, the last game, 1-0, and Justy came on to save that one for him. But he has pitched some very big ball games, and particularly in the last month of September. This is October, and this again is another big ball game. And as this season goes along farther and farther, I guess Jim Rooker can say the same thing. This is the biggest game of my life. Well, this one certainly fits that description because of the win here. The Pirates will capture their 4th Eastern Division title. Fellow sitting next to me, I've been with him for 8 years. He's been doing this for 27. And it's a pleasure always to come into September in contention. There were years when the gunner never was there, but he's enjoying this one. Good to have him back again, healthy and sound, the gunner, Bob Prince.
Well, thank you very much, Nellie King, old buddy, and thank you again for taking over last night. I was real proud to listen to you going home. I tell you, listening to that Cardinal game sent down by KMOX to us during the rainout, and there's quite a story about that I'll relate to you in a moment. Rick Mundy takes it in there and fouls it back. I was listening right up to the time when John Cygnus said, now we're going to have to interrupt the broadcast for the Cardinals and swing back to the ballpark because they're ready to play. And just at that time, Jack Buck had said, with Jorgensen up, this may be the ball game right here. Here's the 0-1 inside. Well, then they immediately switched to you, Nellie. And so I swung immediately to my car radio to KMOX and heard Jorgensen hit the home run to put him in front and came right back to you, and you had it on the air almost immediately. And, of course, that was a big blow up there. Ball 2 and strike 1 to Mundy. Now our problems are such that they're rained out. We got to win this one and we can cancel everything. If we lose it, they got to play tomorrow. High, ball 3. And then if they win it, we got to play Friday here. There's no rest for us. There's only one thing to do, Nellie, that's win it. Huh?
Yeah, this will not be the last game of the season, as I said, in this ballpark, regardless of what happens here tonight, win or lose.
Ball 3, strike 1, foul straight back. Boy, I'll tell you one thing, too. There are a lot of bees in the bat handle tonight.
Let me say something about Jim Rooker in this ball game. It's a big one for him. The adrenaline has to be flowing a little bit different than even in previous games that he pitched so well against the Cardinals and the New York Mets. But remember, too, Bob, that this season he's had rocky first innings and has come back to pitch very good ball games, and I think won 3 or 4 games, I believe. I don't put the whole night in one inning.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Mundy. And he pops him up foul. I don't think it's playable. Hebner's over near the railing. He can't get it. Well, my wife Betty told me, Kurt Gotti called me this morning about something, and she said, well, Bob's sleeping, he's been sick. And Kurt says, I'll call you back about noon. Now they tell me they've taken him to Lay Clinic with food poisoning or something. So, I don't know. We were going to be jammed up all over the place. Tony Kubek is here. And if there's a playoff game tomorrow, they would be covering it. And they're thinking that now, if Kurt ill, that they'll bring on Al Michaels of San Francisco. 3-2 pitch, just underneath for a ball. So that'll put Mundy aboard and bring up Don Kessinger at 259. A lot of people in this ballpark and more coming in. Kessinger switch batter. Jim Marshall coaching and managing at third, J.C. Martin at first. All right, Mundy off the bag, the pitch, and Kessinger fouls out of play. and Mrs. Marion McGreevy, 90 years young, of Wilmerding, is quite a Pirate baseball fan and hangs on every word, Nellie. And so does Joe Will, Michelle Sarin, Prudence Kinney, and Joe Cross down in Parkersburg, West Virginia. All great Pirate fans. No balls and a strike. Monday at first, the pitch. Kessinger takes strike 2. Good fastball by Rooker. Listen to that crowd, Nellie. I think they're in for what they want to see, the finale right now, huh?
As we said, maybe the attendance has been sparse, but those that have been here, I guess, are the real loyal baseball fans in this area.
No balls, 2 strikes to Kessinger. Pitch. Slammed down the right line, slicing. It'll be a foul ball. Monday racing to third to get his juices flowing, and it'll be a night for that.
We've had 2 excellent ball games here. You think the Cubs are a ball club that you don't have to worry about? Forget it. They have a season's advantage over us. And the game the other night, 2-1, great pitching performance by Keeson, and last night it took a home run by Bobby Robertson to win it.
Dr. Fangold dropping in. Thank you, Dr. Joe. Double checking. Got more holes in me now than a pincushion. Kessinger slammed it foul off third. I just backed up against the needles last night, Nellie. Ooh. 39 degrees temperature. Good weather for football.
Rooker pitched in the day like this back in April, I think, in Chicago. In fact, it was colder than it. It's snowing, sleet.
No balls, 2 strikes to Kessinger. Monday off first, the pitch. Curve just missed. Fan Wayne Gronchi of Irwin, Pennsylvania, wrote in a new slogan. When infield hit, we ought to call it a moth on the cloth. And then Bill Swagger says, how about revving for 7? All right. Very good. Ball 1, strike 2 to Kessinger. Monday at first. Pitch. Outside in a count of 2-2. I would imagine that this game is being carried in St. Louis.
We're also on the American Forces Radio. Too.
Well, to everybody on the American Forces Radio throughout the world, we got a dog loose down the right field line. Richie Zisk is trying to get it out of there. And he's saying, come on, pup, come on, pup. And the game, of course, time is called. He's got it. He's treating it very nicely. And he picks a little rascal up, and he's all right, and they're going to hold him. And little puppy dog got loose out there, and he's all right. So that delayed this game. To all of the members of the armed forces throughout the world, we wish you a speedy return home wherever you are, and certainly a healthy one. You folks in St. Louis, on the Cardinal Network, we do again thank you for your cooperation in letting us use your broadcast, the fine broadcast of Jack Buck and Mike Shannon. And it's been a thriller, and it's not over yet. Here's a 2-2 pitch, fouled out. Well, without any question, fans in St. Louis, KMOX and their entire network got to be rooting for Chicago, and I don't blame them, Nellie.
Odd turnabout, because those 2 ball clubs, I guess, had a whale of a Donnybrook out there a couple of Sundays ago.
Mm-hmm.
Some bad blood between those 2 teams.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch to Kessinger. And he slams it up the middle for a base hit. Coming up fast is Al Oliver. And into second goes Mundy. So the Cubs have runners on at first and second and nobody out. Now remember, the Cardinals were weathered out tonight in Montreal, and they'll play tomorrow if necessary. And if we lose tonight and the Cardinals win tomorrow, the Cardinals would then come to Pittsburgh and the game would be played on Friday. Which in a sense is a rather sad situation for both ball clubs, whichever team is to win this. If you had to go through a Friday, the Dodgers would have all the better of it, having clinched and be well rested, and whichever team would go in on Saturday would go in like a limp rag, either the Pirates or the Cardinals. Here's Cardinal at 292. He bangs one up the middle for a base hit. Coming over fast is Al Oliver, and they'll have runners at first and third and a run in. The Cubs lead 1-0. A walk to Mundy, a single by Kessinger, a single by Cardinal. And the Cubs on top 1-0 with runners at first and third and nobody out.
Rooker just is not getting location on pitches at all. He's up high on everybody, and Kessinger punched the ball up the middle, and it's the same thing Cardinal did. He's going to have some problems with this guy if he keeps it up there, Bill Matlock.
And warming quickly, Larry Demery as Don Osborne comes out.
Rooker had a bit of tenderness in his arm the last time he worked in New York. It was not his best performance. He stated that. He struggled through it. He went 8 2/3 before Hernandez got the final out. And Don Osborne calmed down a little bit, but this has happened to Rooker before. He's been bounced around in the first inning and has come back to pitch shutout baseball. But he's got to start settling down here pretty soon.
All right, and we'll send best wishes along to the daughter, one of our ushers here, Elaine Mitchell, and dedicate last night's home run by Bobby Robinson to her in a speedy recovery. Get well wishes to Tony Clemente in St. Francis Hospital. All right, here's Bill Matlock, the third baseman at 3-1-7. Pitch to him, the curve on there for a strike. Cubs on top 1-0 here. Have runners at first and third. On a bitterly cold night, the temperature in the low 30s. No balls and a strike to Matlock. The right-hand batter watching outside. Kibler, Tata, Renard, and Crawford, the crew here tonight. The outfield swung around to the left. Ball 1 and strike 1. Rooker now comes to the plate. Curve hammered down to third. Hebner's up. He gets it on, throws it away. And they'll score a run, and another runner will go to third. Hebner threw a sidearm delivery that sank on Stennett. And they're going to rule an error on Hebner. And a run batted in for Matlock. They have to assume that. He had a double play ball. They were going to give him the 1 run and get 2. And it was a cinch until Hebner threw it sidearm, and curve sinking away from Stennett. So he's charged with an error. Give Matlock a run batted in. The Cubs lead 2-0. Cardinal is at third. And Matlock at first. Nobody out yet. And here's right fielder Morales at 274. They're swung to the left here. Rooker delivers, and he's over the plate but low, ball 1. So the Pirates have spotted Chicago up there here in the first inning. And still nobody out with runners at first and third. The Pirates, I should say, have spotted the Cubs up there. Pitches outside, ball 2. Larry Demery continuing to loosen. Ball 2 and no strikes. And a bouncer knocked down by Stennett, falls out of his glove, goes into shallow right. Another run is in, and everybody is safe, and Morales will have a base hit. Now it's 3-0, and Chicago tearing the Bucs apart here. Ball was hit sharply off the right side. Morales has the base hit, and Matlock stopped at second, and the batter will be Carmen Fanzone at 188 for homers and 22 runs batted in. So Chicago leading here 3-0 in the first inning, and nobody out with 2 men on. Demery continuing to loosen. Fanzone, a right-hand batter, playing at first base. The pitch. Wanted a bunt, took it outside, ball 1. One ball and no strikes. The missing of an easy double play ball. I say easy. It's never easy, really, because when an error comes along, you're down the drain. Ball outside, 2-0. But they had it perfectly set up on a ground ball to third. The ball was thrown sidearm, and that made it a breaking ball. And thus Stennett was unable to hold it. Swing and a miss by Fanzone. 2 balls and a strike. Well, if you got to give up some runs, the time to do it's in the first inning when you still have 9 to go. What'll be interesting, too, now, Russell has warmed up and has not had a chance to warm up a game. This long time could be some problems to him. We got to get him out here first. 2-1 pitch. Fanzone turns around, bunts it down third. It'll go foul. Ball 2, strike 2. Monday opened with a base on balls. He almost struck out, but he laid off a 2-2 pitch to get it ball free. And then drew the walk. Kessinger then singled up the middle, sending Mundy into second. Cardinal banged up the middle, driving in Mundy, sending Kessinger to third. Madlock hit a one-hopper to third, and Hebner threw it away. And thus the double play went out the window. Then Morales singled off the glove of Stennett. 2-2 pitch to Panzone, popped him in the shallow left. Going back for it is shortstop Frank Taveras. Coming up Stodgel, it'll be Taveras, and there's one away. It'll bring up the catcher, Steve Swisher, at 2-1-8. 5 homers, 27 runs batted in. Swisher at 218, 5 homers, 27 runs batted in. All right, Matlock off second, Morales off first, one away. Rooker checks, delivers. Curves outside, ball one. You wouldn't think Lil and Stan Musial and Marion Bing Devine and Malice and Don Burster, those people like that'd be listening on St. Louis, would you, Nellie?
Hardly likely.
I would doubt they'd be listening. Here's the 1-0. And there's a fly ball deep into right. Going back, Siski has room. Going over to target second is Matlock. He'll draw the throw, and he's still coming for third. Taveras can't relay in time, and he gets in there. But there are 2 down. Matlock is really not much better off at third other than the errant play. Swisher having flown it out into right. Matlock tagging, coming over after the catch. And now the 8th man to get up is Rod Sparing. And Rob is batting at 194. Runners at first and third. We've given them really 5 outs so far in the inning, trying to get the 6th one. Right-hand batting is a batter Sparing. Low from Rooker, ball one. Nellie and I talk a little thick-lipped up here. Believe me, it is extremely cold. Ball one and no strikes. To look to first, the pitch. And a slammer into shallow right. Siska's running hard, and he can't get it. He traps the ball, throws it quickly to the plate, but not in time, and they get another run. Sparing hit a little dunker into shallow right field for a base hit. And scoring will be Matlock. Make it 4-0 Chicago. Morales has gone to third, and the batter will be Russell, the 9th man in the inning to get in there. We were playing Sparing extremely deep in the outfield like he's a Babe Ruth type hitter. Now, Russell.
Ritchie doesn't come in too well in right field. He goes back a lot better, and I agree with you. I think if he had some second thoughts, he might have played a more shallow. It's unusual. Most guys have trouble, I think, going back on the ball more, but he does it much better the other way.
Well, the 9th man up is Rick Russell, batting at 226, a right-hand batter. Cubs on top, 4-0 here in the top of the first. And Rooker throws a strike. Odd part about this one is that Rooker's had trouble beating Chicago. Lost 1-0, 3-2, and 4-3. Whereas Russell has no trouble beating the Pirates. Swinging a miss. He's whacked them 7-1, 3-0, 4-3. We'd finally beat him one ball game the last time in Chicago by a score of 12-4. So he's won 3 and lost 1 against the Pirates. No balls, 2 strikes to Russell. Delivered and hit foul into a Pirate dugout off the first base side. Chicago leading 4-0. A very big error looming on a double play ball. On the ball hit by Matlock, it really opened up the gates. There's a ball chopped to third foul. Pirates were willing to give him the run. If they get the double play, they're out of the inning. The next out, with only 2 runs having scored. It's that simple. No balls, 2 strikes here to Russell. Again, Rooker ready. The left-hander down with a curve. Strike 3 is called. So Rooker had to really battle to get out of that one. The Cubs put 9 men to the plate, get 4 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, 1 error, and strand a pair. 4-0 at the end of the top of the first. Well, here we go now into the Pirates' first inning. Of the 4 runs, 2 are unearned. But the Cubs are going to accept those 4 regardless. So now, against Russell, they'll have Swisher behind the plate. Matlock, Kessinger, Sparing, and Fanzone the infield. Cardinal in left, Mundy in center, Morales in right.
The last time Russell pitched was against the Cardinals, and he had to leave the ball game because of a blister, and that could be a problem here. He's only had 3 days rest, working on the 4th day. He's not a power pitcher at all. He gave us 12 hits one game and threw a shutout against us, but he won't walk too many people.
Well, the best thing about giving up 4 runs in the first inning is you have 9 left to go back and pick them up. But that's not always easily done. Russell is high, ball 1. Let's just take a moment and take a look at Mr. Russell's ERA, and we'll get a general idea how many he normally lets you have when he's going at you. 4.38. So if you can win a game by .38, you got him. There was no pitch that time. Time had been called. Ball 1 and no strikes. So if he pitches to his average, Pirates will tie this one up somewhere along the line, but they got to hold the Cubbies at 4. 1-0 to Stennett. It's high, ball 2, 2-0. Now, he's been out a long time, remember. Russell warmed up for a allotted amount of time and then had to wait about another, almost 40 minutes. 2-0 pitch, down low, ball 3. On this bitterly cold night, and the temperature in the mid-30s, Cubs lead 4-0 in the first inning. 3-0 pitch to Rennie Stennett has been in there now for a strike. Russell threw a breaking ball that time, picked it up on the inside corner. 3 balls and a strike. The outfield playing deep around to the left to Rennie Stennett, who has yet to swing. 3 balls and a strike from Russell. And he walks him this time. So the leadoff batter for Chicago, Rick Mundy, got on a walk. Now the leadoff batter for the Pirates gets on, and third baseman Hebner in at .294. 18 homers, 67 runs batted in. Outfield's going to play around to the right. In fact, they'll pinch Cardinal in on Monday, giving Hebner out of the left field line. Russell delivers. Hebner golps one down to Fanzone, comes up nicely, throws to Kessinger, back to first. They got a double play. Fanzone made a remarkable grab of that ball. It was smacked right at him, and it came up and went right into his glove. I don't think he knew he had it right away, but once he knew, he whacked it up there. 3-6-3 double play. So Al Oliver batting at .322. 11 homers and 85 runs batted in. Chicago leading 4-0. First inning. Sinking pitch low, ball 1. Now the 1-0. Oliver hits a foul down the left field line and out of play. Chicago leading 4-0 here. Here's the delivery now to Oliver, and it's hit foul out of play to the left. A ball and 2 strikes. Russell that time came with a breaking ball, let up on it a little bit. On deck, Willie Stargell. Rick Russell, 13-12 on the year. Now to the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Oliver's tried to check his swing but couldn't as he struck him out swinging. And that'll retire the side. It turns up with a 3-up, 3-down inning with the aid of the double play. At the end of 1, Chicago leading 4-0. Well, Chicago now coming back around the horn again. And we'll pause for station identification on the Pittsburgh Pirates St. Louis Cardinal Baseball Network. All right, here's Rick Mundy now. He walked and scored in the first inning. Rooker trailing 0-4. Mundy watching one pop through there from Rooker for a strike. No balls, one strike. Back to the left-hand batter with a curveball, strike called. Oh, 2 delivery hit off the other bat to short. Tavares comes up, throws, and they got Mundy. 1 out, none on. Second inning, Chicago leading 4-0.
Shortstop, Don Kessinger.
Kessinger, who singled and scored, standing in, 1 out in the second. Rooker over the plate with his fastball, but underneath with it. Ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, curve this time on the outside corner for a strike. Chicago 4 and the Pirates nothing here in the second inning. 1 out and none on to Kessinger. Switch batting. Weakly tapping a foul off the third base side. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chicago put 9 men to the plate in the first inning, scoring the 4, 2 of the runs unearned. Here's the 1-2. Hit foul off to the right. Ball 1, strike 2. Jim Rooker, 15-11 on the year. Last time out beat the Mets 7-3. Ground ball punched down to Stennett. He comes up. He throws to Kirkpatrick to away. Here's Jose Cardinal. He singled up the middle in the first inning and came around to score. Gets the strike in there. Bounce one down to first base. Kirkpatrick has Cardinal unassisted. And Rooker stops them cold in the second in a 1-2-3 inning. So we go to the bottom of the second, 4-0 Chicago. Stodgel standing in at 3:03. And your host now will be your Powerland Chrysler Plymouth dealer, who has immediate delivery on America's #1 selling compact. Stodgel at 3:03. The Cubs do not infield shifting. Russell delivers. Breaking ball at the knees for a called strike. Send best wishes along to Clarence and Mary Mack of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Great friends of Merle Hess and all who's in the Pirate organization. 0-1 delivery. Stodgel hits a foul long way down the left line out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Chicago leading 4-0. We are in the second inning. Stodgel, Zisk, and Sanguin in this inning. Russell turns his fastball over, sweeps it outside for a ball, 1-2. Russell right back on the 1-2 pitch. Stodgel swings and fouls away. Well, we hope Kurt Gowdy will be up and around again soon. We understand he is supposed to be suffering from a little touch of food poisoning. Tony Kubek's in town, all the NBC crew. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Stodgel fouls it back. In the event the Cardinals who play tomorrow should win and we should lose here, then they would carry the Friday's game, which would be the one-game playoff. And whichever team wins that waits for the Dodgers. Into the dirt, 2-2. The Dodgers will be playing tonight, of course, in Houston. And then they can just sit around and wait till they find out where they're going. Ball 2, strike 2. Here's the 2-2 from Russell to Stodgel. He swings and misses, and the ball's into the dirt, but it bounces right off home plate, and Swisher's able to get it and throw him out. Strikeout number 2 for Russell. Chicago 4, and the Pirates nothing as this stands in at 3-1-5. 17 homers and 100 runs batted in. Cubs scored 4 times in the first inning, 2 unearned. And a bad throwing error on the double play ball really put him in the soup. Now Russell comes down to Zisk. In low, ball 1. He's beaten the Buccos 3 times this year. He shut them out in Chicago 3-0, and the Bucs, would you believe it, had 12 hits and left 17 men on base and lost 3-0. It's pretty hard to do, but they did it. 2-0 the count here to Zisk. Against the Cubs, the Buccos are 8-9, 5-3 here, 3-6 at Wrigley Field. So the Pirates have got to win this one to just break even on the season. 2-0 delivery, a swing and a foul at the 5th of the plate umpire. 2 balls and a strike. They're swung way around to the left, Cardinal and Mundy. Zisk takes it over the plate but low, and Russell is up to a 3-1 count. Stennett walked in the first inning, and Hebner hit the first pitch into a double play. Here's the 3-1. And Zisk has walked. That's the second walk given up by Russell, trying to stay low to keep him in the ballpark. That'll bring up Sanguin at 284, 7 homers, 67 runs batted in. Russell turns, wants Madlock to come up a little more at third. They're playing Sanguin in the pull. That's kind of funny. Normally they play him as a right center hitter. And Russell misses low and away. Ball 1. Kind of unusual to see Stennett draw a walk and Sanguin away. Normally they're swinging at anything. Ball 1 and no strikes. The pitch now. And it's hit high into the air up toward first baseman fan zone. Sparing, however, calls him off, makes the grab. 2 down. 4-0 Chicago here in the second. The batter will be Eddie Kirkpatrick at 250. 6 homers and 38 runs batted in.
Number 23, Eddie Kirkpatrick.
The Cardinals are scheduled tomorrow at 12:05 against Montreal. Here's the pitch, up inside a ball to Kirkpatrick. They'll play only if it's necessary. And to make it necessary, the Cubs have to win, and they're winning here 4-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Beat weakly off the first base side, and getting it is Russell, and he runs over and gets the unassisted out at first. So that'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. Into 2, Chicago 4, and the Pirates nothing.
The Cubs out in front, 4-0 in the top of the third inning. Will send up the 4, 5, and 6 batters. Bill Madlock, Jerry Morales, and Carmen Fanzone against Jim Rooker. And while we've got the opportunity here, let's pause 20 seconds for our local station.
Now more than ever, the Liberty Tubes are a mess. So now is the time to call on the commuter. If you're still trying to figure a way to and from Pittsburgh, have your employer contact the commuter to get you moving.
Madlock got on an error by Hebner in the first inning, a double play ball that he threw away. His stand a little bit late getting over to cover at second base, and Hebner had trouble getting the ball to him. It sailed away, and Hebner was charged with the error. But it definitely was a double play ball, and we failed to turn it over, and the Cubs came up with 2 more runs following that. They lead 4-0. Madlock, a candidate for Rookie of the Year, hitting at .314. Takes a pitch away. Ball 1, sinking fastball by Rooker. Rooker's career started in 1960 in Decatur, an outfielder for the Detroit Tigers organization. Line drive, left field. Stargell giving chase, going. He runs the ball down. Willie almost overran that ball. It was hit right off the fist, and Madlock looped it down the left field line. Stargell got a little bit of a late start, overran the ball actually then, and came up with the out. 1 down. Morales with a single off the glove of Stennett in the first inning. Drove in a run. You talk about a fella having a pretty big year, and everybody thought he would when he came over to Chicago. Jerry Morales, 15 home runs. He's driven in 82. Got him from San Diego, I think, for Glenn Beckert. Fastball by Rooker is down low, ball 1. Morales hitting at .275, a native of Puerto Rico. And this weather can't feel too pleasant to him, I don't suppose. Temperature about 37 degrees. Fastball up high. Ball 2. Rooker trailing 4-0 with that rocky first inning again. He's had about 4 games like that this season, but has come back to win. Fastball hit foul off the first base side. J.C. Martin trying to catch up with it. Never did. 2 balls and a strike. A couple of years ago, at the tail end of the season, Bill Burden talking about this fella, Jerry Morales. He's a prospective good outfielder. The 2-1 pitch. He is right there, strike 2. Fastball backed up and caught the inside corner. Rooker throwing the ball much better now than he did in the first inning. He's down low with his pitches, and his fastball looks like it has more zip. The 2-2 pitch by Jim. Low and away with a fastball that's sunk on him. Full count of 3-2. The 3-2 pitch to Morales hit foul right at the feet of Sanguin. On deck hitter, Carmen Fanzone. Pirates got great pitching the first game of the series, beating Bill Bonham 2-1. Bruce Keeson in a complete game. And last night, timely hitting by Bobby Robertson and good relief pitching by Justy One. Pitches low to Morales. He draws the walk. And for Rooker, his second walk, and he brings up Fanzone. He was the first batter that Rooker got out in the first inning. Number 6 in the lineup, he popped up to the shortstop, Frank Tavares. Cardinals of Montreal postponed tonight because of rain and snow up there. They'll play tomorrow afternoon at 12 o'clock, depending on what the outcome of this game is. If the Pirates lose, they'll play. Fanzone checks off a pitch inside, gets away from Sanguin, but not far enough for Morales to advance. Ball 1. Rooker's in the situation now where he's got to put zeros on the board for the rest of the time, and Bucs have got to do some run scoring against Rick Russell. Morales at first. The pitch to Fanzone is a fastball taken, strike 1. The Cubs' good years of 69, 70, and 71. They hit a veteran ball club. The Pirates used to dominate them. But a young ball club this year, and the Pirates can't do much with them. Fastball swung on in strike 2. Cubs have the lead. 9 wins is against 8 for the Bucs. Kirkpatrick holding it first with one down. Morales there on a 4-0 lead for Chicago. Top to third. The pitch just down low. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fanzone playing at first base. The Cubs have lost a good young hitter. They're going to fight for the Cardinals. Broke a finger, Andy Thornton. The 2-2 pitch. Line drive, left field. The pitch up in his eyes, and he bangs at the left field. Fanzone, only a 148 hitter. But last night, had a couple of hits, and back at it again here tonight. Rooker got the ball up, and he's in trouble again with Swisher standing in. We're going to get activity in our bullpen. Pitching, the name of the game. Not much doubt about that. Bucs have had it for most of the season. Rooker trying to get back in the groove here in the third. Morales at second, Fanzone at first. Pirates need a double play ball. Swisher flied to right field in the first inning. Hitting it just .218 with 5 home runs, 27 RBIs. The runners go, swing and a miss, throw to third, and an out at third base. Sanguine laid it on the money, and Hebner makes the tag at third on Jerry Morales, the outgoing 2-5. Fanzone moves into second base. No steal, as the lead runner, Jerry Morales, is nailed on a quick throw by Sanguine over the head of the catcher, the hitter rather, Steve Swisher. The count is strike 1 to Swisher. 2 down now, and a runner only at second base in Fanzone. 4-0 lead for the Cubs. Rooker from the belt, checking the runner at second. Fanzone, a big lead there. The pitch underway, and it's in the dirt. Blocked by Sanguine, and good play by Manny. Home plate umpire John Kibler wants to take a look at the ball. Throws it out of play, and the count 1-1 on Swisher. Swisher, a native of Parkersburg, West Virginia. Pirate territory, but banging it out for the Cubs. Pizarro and Demery loosened in the Pirate bullpen. Rooker with a 1-1 pitch, and it is hit foul off the foot of Swisher. The count 1-2. The dimensions at Three Rivers, 340 down the line, 410 straight away, 385 in the alleys and right and left center field. One of the biggest ballparks. A lot of hitters tell you. Rusty Staub, one of them, that's about 10 feet too long. The pitchers don't think that. A lot of territory for an outfielder to cover here. Pickoff play at second, and back in time is Fanzone. Stennett covering on the throw by Rook. Pirates, most noticeable, Clemente talked about it in the 1971 World Series when Baltimore came up here after we opened in Baltimore. It's a different ballpark to defense than the smaller Baltimore park was. And the Bucs, of course, won 3 in a row here. The 1-2 pitch to Swisher, fouled again off the shin guards of Sanguine. Pirates have done well in this ballpark since 1970, capturing 3 divisional titles. A win here tonight give them their 4th. Last year, we lost out on the final day of the season. And so far this year, at home we've won 51 and lost 29. On the road, under 500, 36 wins, 45 defeats. Count of 1-2. Rooker trying to get that third one by Swisher. Gets the foul again. Back off the glove of Sanguine, all the way to the backstop. Rooker confessing to Bob and me that Saturday's performance against New York, by far his most sluggish. He said, I didn't have a thing, but he won 8 2/3 innings. Had a bit of tightness in his shoulder. You may recall the season opened in St. Louis. Rooker missed a turn out there because of he had to get a shot into his shoulder, but has not had any problem since then. He and Royce have gone every 5 days. The look at second, the 1-2 pitch, way up high, almost a wild pitch. Sanguine had to come up to get it. Well, the count is 2-2 on Swisher. Fanzone at second. 2 down in the Cubs' 3rd inning. night like this, you're hoping for a 1-0 win and get out of here fast and get out of the cold. But it's going to be a long evening. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled again back out of play by Swisher. Rooker warming up, rubbing up a new baseball and taking a look at the scoreboard rather casually. Rooker gets a sign from Sanguian. The 2-2 pitch underway, and it is swung on and missed, strike 3. Well, Rooker finally puts him away after a big battle with Swisher, striking him out. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. The Cubs lead 4-0. Well, a pretty good turnout here tonight. Despite the very inclement weather, we had snow flurries in Pittsburgh, the earliest I think they've had them here in maybe history, but a long, long time certainly. And the temperature at game time was about 38 degrees and expected to go down under 30 by tomorrow morning. Well, we'll have our first freeze of the season, but supposed to warm up for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And those could be very big dates in this ballpark. Pirates now by 4 runs. Tavares is the leadoff batter. We haven't had a hit off Russell. Had a couple of base runners, a couple of walks, one of them erased on a double play. Tavares takes a curveball away, ball 1. Frank hitting at 245. Pardon me, no home runs, driven in 26. His rookie year has been a very good one. The 1-0 pitch by the right-hander Russell. In there at the knees, no, too low. Ball 2. The outfield, and particularly the right fielder, Morales, very shallow on Tavares. He looks at a pitch down low, ball 3. Pirates need some help here, either with walks or errors, to start getting something going. Cubs took advantage of our miscues in the first inning to get 4 runs, along with timely hitting. And this pitch almost hit Tavares, ball 4. Well, Tavares gets the 3rd walk. That's unusual for Russell. Previous games against us, he has beaten us 3 of the 4. And he's walked only 7 in 32 2/3 innings prior to tonight. But has already issued 3 in just 2 innings plus here. Rooker, a right-handed batter and a very good hitter, batting at .301, has had 28 hits in 93 times at bat. He's driven in 8 runs. Tavares being held by Fanzone. The pitch by Russell, and Rooker takes a strike. Jim backed off, didn't like that call by Kibler. Jim saying, how come I'm not getting those? I mentioned earlier, Rooker started his career in 1960 in the Detroit organization as an outfielder. Has 6 home runs, all hit in the American League. The 0-1 pitch. Check swing, looper into right field, base hit. He's got a base hit. Tavares holds at second, and he gets back in time on a quick throw by Jerry Morales. Well, the Bucs got something going. Rooker didn't want to swing on the check swing, works the single over the head of Rob Sperring. He'll go to the heavy jacket. Time call. The first hit of the ball game, we're at the top of the lineup. Sennett, who walked in the first inning, standing in. Rennie in with 195 hits, more hits than any Pirate second baseman in history. I'd like to see him get 200 right here tonight. And it's going to tell you he's going to have a big night and come up to bat a few times. Tavares at second, Rooker at first, nobody out, and the Cubs leading 4-0 in the Pirates' 3rd. Russell from the belt, checking Tavares. Sennett hitting away. Fly ball, center field, not very deep. Mundy making the grab, Tavares tagging, and he'll draw the throw, and he better hurry. This guy can throw. He beats the play. Tavares tags up, moves to 3rd on the play. Well, Hebner with a sacrifice fly here can get us a run in. Ritchie bounced into a double play in the first inning. Hebner, first ball hitting after Sennett walked in the first inning. Bounced into a 3-6-3 double play. Richie hitting at 293, 18 home runs, 67 RBI. He had a big home run, his 18th of the year. 3-run shot in New York on a 3-0 pitch. Fastball up and away on Hebner. Ball one. Cubs get activity. A left-hander and a right-hander in their bullpen. Looks like Ken Frayling. The look at first and third. The pitch underway. Hebner bounces right side. Picked up by Spearing. Gets you out at first. We score a run. But Rooker moves into second. Great play by Rob Spearing, taking a base hit away from Hebner. Diving for the ball. Coming up. Throwing from his knees at first base for the out on Hebner. But an RBI gets the Bucs on the board. It's a 4-1 ball game. Rooker at second base. And the batter is Al Oliver. He struck out on a pitch in the dirt in the first inning. Russell struck out Oliver and Stagel on that very same pitch. Bounced it in the dirt. An off-speed delivery. Fastball and a sinker foul off the third base side. Strike one. Al had 3 hits last night. In with 197. More than he has ever had in one season in his career that started in 1969. The nucleus of this ball club came up in 1969. Oliver, Sanguin, Hebner. The 0-1 pitch. Al swings and misses strike 2. The 3 and 4 batters have been big in the Pirate attack this year, and we got to start them going here. Rooker at second base. In a 4-1 game, the Cubs out in front. Third inning, 2 down, and the pitch to Oliver. Ground foul, grounded off the first base side. Easy play by Russell, throws him out at first. A weakly hit ball out in front of the plate, and Oliver goes down. That retires the Pirates, but we score 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. Well, we've completed 3, and the Cubs lead 4-1. Your baseball host has been your Pirate Land Chrysler Plymouth dealer. The 4th inning for Chicago, it'll be Rob Spearing, Rick Russell, the pitcher, and Rick Mundy up for his 3rd time. Cubs, in case you're just joining us, scored 4 runs in the first inning. Rooker did not retire a batter until the 6th hitter, Fanzone, came in. He walked Mundy on a 3-2 pitch. Kessinger singled up the middle to move Mundy into second base. Cardinal singled up the middle to score Mundy. And Madlock tapped the third base in a sure double play ball. Hebner on a poor throw missed, centered at second base. 1 run scored. And then Morales spotted with a base hit to drive in another run. Fanzone popped up. Swisher flied to right, and Spearing looped one off the right side to score Madlock with the 4th run of the inning. And the Cubs lead 4-1 with the Pirates scoring in the 3rd inning. The temperature at game time, 38 degrees, and we'll get you a further reading on that thermometer. Football-looking crowd here tonight. Tousled caps and coats buttoned up. But they'll get warm if the Bucs get back into this thing, and the last inning got to a Russell for a run. Rob Spearing looped one into right field in front of Richie Zisk, who was playing quite deep that time. He's a bit shallower this time. Spearing, a right-handed batter, was with Wichita for 106 games this year, hit .252. Right-handed batter, takes a curve down low, ball 1. The windup on the 1-0 pitch by Rook. Curve right there, taken 1 ball and 1 strike. Pirates playing Spearing straight away and not too deep. Slider missing inside. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Vic Harris started for the Cubs at second base, but had his problems. They've used a host of players there. 2-1 pitch. Swing, did he go? It looked like he did. He wanted a field play, and they said he went around. Well, Rooker gets a strike out of it, and the count is 2-2. First base umpire, Terry Tata, stating that Swisher did go around on it. Jack Brickhouse, the voice of the Cubs for many years, stopping by to say hello. Cubs telecasting this one back to Chicago. Fastball down low on a full count of 3-2. Leadoff batter in the Cubs' fourth inning, Rob Sperring. And the Cubs out in front, 4-1. In a game that means everything to the Pirates right here. It means a lot to the Cardinals, too. 3-2 pitch, foul, back out of play. The windup and the payoff pitch to Sperring. Line drive, left field, a base hit. And that's the sixth hit off Rooker. Leadoff batter, number 8 hitting. Rob Sperring is 2 for 2 off Jim. Pirates have had activity in every inning but the second in their bullpen. And very active in that long first and some stirring again. Demery and I think Pizarro will start the throw. Russell, the possibility of a bunt here. Hebner shortens at third base. Kirkpatrick will hold at first. The pitch, and it is bunted off the first base side. Sanguin picks up, throws. He got him at first base. Sanguin a little bit late coming out of the chute there because they were bunting and running on that play. The runner broke from first base, Sperring, and on the bunt run, they moved him into second base. Jim Marshall playing flat-out baseball here tonight, getting every run he can, leading 4-1. Monday is the batter. The sacrifice going 2-4. Moving Sperring into second base. Now Rooker again will pitch from the stretch with a runner into scoring position. Monday walked and bounced to shortstop. Left-handed batter leads the Cubs with 20 home runs. Rooker gets the sign, checks the runner at second, and the pitch underway. Right on the corner, taking strike one. Good slider by Rooker. The 0-1 delivery. Underway to Monday. Looped into center field. Tough play. Oliver coming on. He can't get it. It's a base hit. And moving to third is Sperring. He'll hold right there. Throw cut off by Ed Kirkpatrick. Rooker banged for his second hit in this inning. 7th of the ball game. And Kessinger will be the batter. We mentioned Pizarro and Demery throwing in the Pirate bullpen. Rooker has had excellent ball games. In the month of September, the 2 big games against the Cardinals here and in St. Louis, both times picking up complete game wins. Or took it into overtime, but tonight roughed up a bit here. 7 hits into the 4th inning. Bucs are back for 2 with only 1 out here. We need the double play off Kessinger. He sprays the ball around. Fastball moved away. Ball 1. I would imagine the cold temperatures like this, tough getting the feel of the ball. Finesse is not the game, which it has to be pitching. The 1-0 pitch, right there, taking strike 1. Fastball, just caught the corner. Rooker has had a below 500 Major League mark, 46-61, but he really didn't develop into a pitcher, and he has stated so. Until he got over here last year. The 1-1 pitch. They're squeezing in a pitch out. They get the runner at third base, and they're going to tag him down. Hebner's going to run him back, and he throws to Sanguin. Almost missed the play. But Sanguin does get him. Well, they pitched out. A very good call by Sanguin, and Hebner kept running a runner, Sperring right into Sanguin, and he almost ran him across the plate. Sanguin had to dive to tag him. But the other runner, Monday, moves into scoring position, and as we mentioned, Marshall doing everything he can do here tonight to get a run. But Sanguin made the right call that time on the pitch out. Nails the runner, Sperring, 2-5-2 for the second out of the inning, and the count is 2 balls and a strike on Don Kessinger. Mundy at second base. In a 4-1 ball game, the Cubs lead. But a heads-up call by Manny. Mundy with a big lead at second base. The pitch underway to Kessinger. Pops him up in the infield, and they're going to get out of it. Tavares drifting back will make the play at shortstop, and that'll retire the Cubs. But credit that to Manny Sanguin with a quick call on the pitch out on the suicide squeeze play. They nailed Spearing, and it gets Rooker out of the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Cubs are out in front, 4-1. Your baseball host now is Joy. Nature's high-protein food for dogs. Higher in protein and it still costs less than most other brands. Stargell struck out in the 2nd inning, leads off the 4th. He hits one foul out of play into the crowd on the third base side. Strike 1. Well, he has hit a bit of a slump here since the injury Saturday in New York. He had trouble with his left knee. Fastball away, 1 ball and 1 strike. But he wants to play. And his big bat has been a very big one for the Bucs all season with 25 homers, 96 RBIs. Changeup, swinging and a missed strike 2. He is doing a job on Oliver and Stargell so far. Russell. But the log on him the last couple of times out, he has been plagued with blisters. And had the lead. The 1-2 pitch. And it is just outside. Turned the ball over. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bill Bonham did a whale of a job here the other night for the Cubs, and then it took a great effort by Keeson to beat him 2-1. The 2-2 pitch. He swings and misses. Did he swing? They say no, he didn't go around. They said he did go around. They better throw to first base now because the ball was dropped by Swisher. Stargell, for the 2nd time, chases the ball into the dirt for his 2nd strikeout. And Russell throwing a good off-speed pitch, and he's had Oliver and Stargell lunging for that thing. Picked up Al on the strikeout in the 1st, then Stargell in the 2nd and 4th inning. I mentioned before, Russell has dominated us this year with 3 wins, and 2 of them complete game outings in Chicago. He's back on his game again tonight after we racked him in Chicago earlier in September. Curveball taken by Ziss, strike 1. Richie walked in the 2nd inning. The Cubs lead 4-1. The 0-1 delivery. Grounded weakly back to the mound. Russell bobbles, picks up, throws. He didn't get him. He had that ball 3 times. I don't mean to be critical of the guy fielding a ball, but you play with your son in the backyard, you hit the ball about that hard to him. You don't want to hurt him, and that's exactly what happened. But Russell somehow dropped the ball and then got a little bit anxious about trying to pick it up. He still had a lot of time because Zisk is certainly not a fast runner. But Zisk finally did beat the play after he dropped it for the 3rd time and picked up and threw late. Now an error charged to the pitcher, Rick Russell. Sanguin popped up to 2nd baseman Rob Spearing his first time up as a batter. Manny hitting at .283. 7 home runs. He's driven in 67. The look at first base. The pitch hit is inside off the elbow of Sanguin. Ball 1. Cubs got 4 runs in the 1st inning. The aid of a Pirate miscue, and also 4 hits. Just leads from first. The fastball taken by Manny right at the belt again. The count of 1-1. Russell working Sanguin on the last 2 pitches right on there off the inside corner. The 1-1 delivery. Looped into center left field. Back goes Kessinger. He can't get it. Base hit. This is going to come to 3rd. There's a play there. No. It's into 2nd base. Sanguin strapped off. The throw to 1st, not in time. He didn't make it. Spearing had a play at 1st base, but he didn't throw. And Sanguin, diving back head first, is in at 1st base safely. Well, you can't believe those last 2 hits. Zisk off the thumb, gets back to the mound, and Russell dropping the ball 3 times, and this time Sanguin hit on the fist. Hit it softly over the head of Matlock in the hole at shortstop. Kessinger dove for the ball. He couldn't come up with it. The ball died out in left field, and on the turning surface, that's some kind of a mean trick. Cardinale made the play on into 2nd base, and Sanguin had to hustle back into 1st base. Now the Bucs have runners at 1st and 3rd with only one out, the tying run at the plate in Ed Kirkpatrick. He got the Bucs out in front last night against Tom DeTore, just missing a home run down the right field line and then doubling. Morales giving way in right field, a good 80 feet off the line. A lot of room down there for Kirkpatrick if he pulls it. The pitch to Ed, fly ball to left field. Zisk will tag, and Cardinal can't get to the ball. It's false foul. A long run for him, but he couldn't make it. It bounced on the warning track near the Cub bullpen. Crowd getting alive here, chanting, "Let's go Bucs." They're down 4-1, but threatening here in the fourth inning with the aid of an error and a bloop single by Manny Sanguillen. They have not hit a ball hard yet off this guy. They have had only 2 hits, a check swing by Rooker, and the ball hit by Sanguillen right off his thumb. The 0-1 pitch underway to Kirkpatrick. Fly ball to center field. Mundy not too deep, and coming on to is Morales. He'll make the grab. Mundy does. This is coming. The throw is true. He is safe. Now he's out at the plate. There's going to be a whale of an argument here. Kibler rolling him out at the plate, and everybody is on him. Zisk, Murtaugh, Tavares, Skinner, and Kirkpatrick, too. Kibler jawing with Zisk at the plate. Zisk went by him, grabbed the plate with his hand, and Murtaugh trying to keep Zisk away from him. Tavares now arguing with him, too. We're going to lose if you don't win those, but a great throw by Rick Mundy. Zisk not the fastest runner, but he was out at the plate, and we don't get a run. No run. 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left, and we've completed 4, and the Cubs lead 4-1. Well, the crowd's still showing their displeasure, as you can hear in the background, at the call by John Kibler. He's not the most popular man in Pittsburgh. It probably is in St. Louis right now. The throw by Mundy was true. It's right on the money. He can throw well, and the ball wasn't hit too deep. It was medium depth, but you had to take the shot at it with the bottom part of the lineup coming up. And Zisk, who doesn't run that well, almost beat the play at the plate. He thought he did, but he didn't count. John Kibler made the call, and the double play gets Russell out of it. Now the Cubs lead 4-1. They had the replay back in Chicago, and Bob Prince talking with Guido DeLeo, and the ruling, I believe, is now that John Kibler missed the play.
The replay showed on the Chicago telecast, and they can only show it back there, is that Richie got his hand in there, and the tag was made up on his shoulder, Nellie. So that's the way she goes, and it's still 4-1, and here's Cardinal. And the fans here are very upset with Mr. Kibler. Cardinal singled and drove in the run, and grounded out to first.
These are tough games for umpires, too. It wasn't a very easy call at all. It was a very difficult call. And it's a very difficult call out in a ballpark like this.
Curveball hammered to short. Coming up Tavares from the hole. Strong throw. He got it. Great throw by Tavares from deep, almost in behind third to get the runner.
Well, he made a whale of a play on that one.
Here's Madlock. Oh, these fans are not going to let Mr. Kibler up now. They're really on him. I was watching inside with Red Smith and Jerry Holtzman and Jack Brickhouse and all the others. The replay is not available here to the curve for the ball. It is shown back in the Chicago area where they report that Zisk got his hand in there and that the tag was high, but he's called out, and that's all you're going to do about it. Madlock swings and bounces one up the middle, and it'll get on through for the base hit. Here's Morales with an infield single and a walk. Now the pitch, down inside, a ball. Oh, man, these fans are irate. Well, the pressure, without question, is a tough one. 1 ball and no strikes. The runner at first is Matlock. Delivered the swing, and he tommy-hocked it. 1 ball and 1 strike to Morales. Morales claims that he never copied Willie Mays, although Willie Mays was his idol. He wears his number, 24. He tries to catch a baseball like him and everything else. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery, and he grounds it sharply to Stennett. Up on to Tavares for 1 on the first. Into the dirt. Tavares throws it away. Morales turns, and they're going to tag him. And safe, because they said he didn't make a move. Now the fans are roaring at first base. And that's a very good call by Tatum. Morales made no move whatsoever to go up towards second. He was merely turning around and coming back to first base. That's a very good call, no question about it. Madlock is out, 4-6, Morales. On the force out at first, and here's Fanzone. Top to short and single to left. Cubs leading 4-1 here in the 5th inning. Fanzone's first hit in this ballpark was a home run. Rooker with a man aboard and 2 down here in the 5th. Cubs leading 4-1. Checks his runner, comes to the plate with a curveball and a call strike.
That last play, Bob, you think you had to get 2 on that ball, and
Yep.
Frank just had trouble getting the ball out of his glove. We missed 2 good double play balls here.
Yep, they've been costly. Curve outside the ball. That first inning cost us a run, 2 runs. Ball 1 and strike 1 to Fanzone. Rooker again ready. Comes down with a fastball inside. Ball 2, 2-1. And Mr. Kibler knows where he is. It's about like I was doing a ball game in Brooklyn one day when the late umpire called Roy Campanella out. Oh, brother. Here's the pitch, and he fouls it back. Deacon Delmore ruled Roy Campanella out at second base when he was sitting on it, and Grote was 4 feet off the bag trying to get the ball. And I never saw 35,000 people, or however many were there that day, erupt with as many handkerchiefs and really go after the umpire there. A constant barrage. But they know that's part of the trade. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Fanzone. Rooker goes to first, and Morales is back.
I think right now, Bob, that John Kilmer could get an invitation to the Knights of the Cauliflower Ear, couldn't he?
He might make it. I don't know. Bob Highland, yeah, he might say. Highland would. He's running it. There's the ball up, blocked by Sanguin, ball 3. The Knights of the Cauliflower Ear is a great organization in St. Louis. They have irregular conclaves. Bob Highland's one of the big fellows from KMOX, along with Mr. Gussie Bush. I would have to think Mr. Kibler would make a fine speaker over there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cardinals ought to love it.
It'd sure buy his meal, wouldn't it?
Yep. The runner at first, Morales, will be taken off, and the ball swung on and missed. He struck him out. Well, Rooker has his 3rd strikeout. No runs, and 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, 4-1, Chicago. Time has been called. The left fielder, Cardinal, has come in and is showing something that was thrown at him. And he has asked that this be cleaned up out there, whatever it was. And I would hope that our fans don't here in Pittsburgh do what's happened in New York. Now, come on. Let's play this thing the right way. Don't take out your ire on the Chicago Cubs because of an umpire's ruling. But they're calling time to go out and clean up the mess out there. But somebody let something fly from the upper deck. And if it hits Cardinal, you could hurt him and kill him, for goodness sake.
I don't know. People in the ballpark, if they see somebody throwing, they ought to just take it in their own hands and tell a attendant up there and usher or somebody run those people out of the ballpark. Just destroying a night for everybody else. Big bottle of glass bottle rather, crashed out there, and he had the neck end of it looked like a pretty good-sized jar.
Well, if it had hit him, it could have severely injured him. And now, let's not get into that, folks. This is the first time I've seen this happen in this ballpark, so don't, just because of a call going against us, take it out on the opposition. Cardinal is not at fault in any way. You can do better than that. So the game is being delayed while they're cleaning up the glass and what have you. Tavares and Rooker and Senator to be the batters when we get organized. So while we have a moment, I don't know what you're going to do on the Cardinal Network. Whistle Dixie if you want, but we're going to pause 20 seconds here in the East for our local stations.
This is Bill Steinbach. Every weekday at 5, along with the entire KDKA radio news team, we bring you up to date on everything happening in the world on 60 to 6. Sports with John Cigna and reports from all over the world let you know everything that's happening. That's 60 to 6, Monday through Friday on KDKA Pittsburgh.
Someplace special.
They're still cleaning up the debris in left field. And we ought to have it ready. Now let's pause for station identification on the Pirate Cardinal Baseball Network.
All the good sports are on Pirates, KDKA, Pittsburgh.
All right, Russell now may be allowed some more time to warm up here due to that delay. Tavares will be the batter. He walked and scored in the third. Russell is being allowed some extra tosses here. And he says he's ready, so Tavares stands in. He walked in the third, and then Rooker singled for our first hit. And then he scored on an infield out by Hebner. Now they're explaining, Gilbert's telling Tavares where the batter's box is. They've wiped out the lines. We got a little spark or two going around here. Russell delivers. He's inside, ball one. 4-1 Chicago here in the fifth. Cardinals and weathered out up in Montreal. Go tomorrow if the game's necessary. Ball outside 2-0, and it'll be necessary if the Cubs win it for them to play their game. Ball 2 and no strikes. Russell again ready, and the 2-0 to Frank. In there, 2-1 count. The 2-1 pitch is bunted off the third base side. It's going to curl out foul, I think. No, yes, it does. The last moment goes down the line, goes out foul. That was a beauty. He had a base hit for about 45 feet, and then they let it roll, and it kept on rolling, and it went with the seams and went out. So the count is ball 2, strike 2. On the ball hit by Kirkpatrick in the fourth inning with Richie Zisk over at third base. It was out into center field, and Mundy fired a bullet to the plate, and Zisk sliding in. And watching it on the TV, it did appear, but I can't say for sure, that he was tagged up on the shoulder because he came in sliding head first almost and got a hand in there. And the umpire called him out, and that occasioned a whale of an argument. Inside, ball 3. On the replay, which is available only to Chicago, they say, and we have no way of really bearing it out, that he had his hand in there. Ball 3, strike 2 to Tavares. And here comes the pitch. And it's blooped into shallow right. It's going to get in there for a base hit. Morales looked like he was fighting the lights. Now Rooker, he blooped in the third. Well, let me put it this way in all sincerity. If we are to lose the game, it won't be because of that call at home plate. There would have only been one more run, I'll admit that, but that's not where this game will be won or lost, my friends. There's been a lot of calls go both ways for ball clubs down through this whole season. The only reason it's more dramatic now is that they think we got to win the National League East on it. Pitch to Rooker. Swing and a miss, strike one. Cubs have a couple of lefty and a righty loosening. Get the glasses on them, Mel. We'll see who they are. No balls and a strike. You got him?
Steve Stone, a right-hander, and Ken Trailing,
the left-hander. Madlock is up even with a bag at third. Rooker did not indicate a bunt first time, the 0-1. He swings and loops a foul out of play to the right. Man, there are all kinds of riders here from all over the country. Send best wishes along to Glenn Titchworth. In the hospital doing very well. He's at Central Medical Pavilion. No balls, 2 strikes. To the batter, Jim Rooker. At first base, Taveras. Nobody out. 5th inning. Rooker tried to bunt and went through it for strike 3. So that's the 4th strikeout. I'm going to bring up Rennie Stennett. He walked and flied to center. Chicago leading 4-1 here in the 5th. The thing that Russell has to be worried about, like anybody else, is the cold night. Plus the fact he's on short rest. Plus the fact the last time he pitched, he had to leave in about the 6th inning with a blister on his pitching hand. He goes to first base, almost throws it away. Fanzone gets up high to grab it. Now Stennett awaiting the pitch, and again the throw to first, and again Taveras is back. Cubs scored 4 runs, 2 of them unearned in the first inning. Pirates pick up 1 in the 3rd. Now the look to first, the pitch, and Stennett bunts a chopper down the first base side, and Russell. No, they throw the ball away, and it's going in, and here comes Taveras around third. Here comes a throw to the plate. He is safe. Give it a ruling. They're going to rule a base hit. Russell is down here arguing a little bit now as we've had this play. Let me give it to you again. Stennett bunted the ball off the first base side. And Russell got it, and he threw the ball right into the runner, Stennett. Well, Taveras was on his way to third. And as he threw the ball, it got away. They ruled out down there at first base. That's why I don't understand how they can rule a base hit. They called him out down there at first, but the ball got away from Fanzone and went into shallow right field. Taveras kept right on coming, and he scored under a strong throw to the plate. And in the meantime, Stennett went into second. So there's no run batted in. Allow Taveras to score on an error charge to the pitcher and put Stennett up into second base. Quite a play there. What was all the stuff? You had the glasses on him down there, Nellie.
I think there was a bit of an argument as to where Stennett was running down the line in the base path. And I think he was trying to get a call that he ran in front. But he actually hit the bag about the same time the ball got there, and he was on his side of the bag, and the throw was just right over the top of the bag. He didn't win the argument.
Well, the trainer came out there, too, and took a look at something like Swisher might have been accidentally binged a little bit. Now here's Hebner. Only 1 out, a run in, the pitch. Hebner slams it deep to left center, but Mundy has room for it. Tagging is Rennie Stennett, and draws the throw, 2 down. Now the batter will be Al Oliver. Struck out and 1 out, first base to pitcher. So it's 4-2 now, and a wild and woolly one. And Oliver standing in with Rennie Stennett out at second. And this crowd going wild as the Bucs are trying to fight their way back into the contest. So Russell checks Rennie Stennett at second. High to Al, ball 1. On deck, Willie Stargell if Oliver keeps it rolling here. Russell checks at second, comes to the plate. Oliver watches outside, ball 2. Stone and Flaving continue to loosen for Chicago. Well, so much is riding here for the Cardinals and for the Pirates. The Cardinals rained out tonight in Montreal. Play tomorrow if necessary. The 2-0 pitch. Oliver grounds it up the right side. Over goes second baseman Sparing. He throws. They rule him out at first base on a great play by Sparing. He had to go way to the right, and he made a fine play, snapping his throw across while falling away from first base. So they get a run on 2 hits and error. The run is unearned, and 1 man left. At the end of 5, 4-2 Chicago. They're making an announcement here, asking the fans again to be more than fair. Don't take it out on the players just because you might be upset about a call at home plate. All right, we're into the bottom third of the lineup. Swisher, Sparing, and Russell for the Cubs, who lead 4-2. Swisher fly to right and struck out in the third. Fly to right back in the first. They put 9 men to the plate in the first inning, and that's pretty much the key to the game. Mundy walked. Kessinger singled. Cardinal singled to drive in Mundy. We played back for the double play ball, and Madlock hit one that was a dandy for that purpose on 1 hop to third. A lot of the Cub fans are at a lot of the writer's spot that Hebner should have gone home on the ball and picked up the runner coming in, Kessinger, because they'd have had him dead. But instead he went for the double play, and he threw a sidearm sinker that threw for an error. And that opened the gates for a couple of more runs. 1 ball, no strikes now to Swisher. Be that as it may, Cubs on top. 1-0 to the right-hand batting Swisher. The catcher takes a fastball outside, and it's 2-0, and Rooker turns his back to the umpire. He does not like that call. Ball 2 and no strikes. Low, ball 3. There's a strike. 3-1. Now the 3-1 pitch popped into shallow center. Coming hard, Oliver going back, Stennett. And it's going to be Oliver to run it down in shallow center field. 1 down to Sparing, who's had a hot bat tonight. He blooped a single to right to drive in a run, and he single shopped to left field. So he's had a perfect night thus far. And just performed the fielding gem in the 5th inning against Oliver. If he doesn't get over and get that ball, they got to run in. But he did. Not only did he get over there, he threw Oliver out when he went far to the right to grab one. Off the right side of the diamond. Sparing watching a tailing fastball away. Ball 1. The outfield rather shallow to Sparing. 1 ball, no strike pitch. And a fly ball left field. Stargell turns and goes back to the warning track. Gets under, 2 away. Now Russell will come up. He struck out and sacrificed. 2 down in the Chicago 6th inning. 4-2 Cubbies. Sent it in to have a word with the Rook. Quite a crowd on hand, most of it a gate sale. In the last moment, coming out to see if they couldn't see it nailed down. Curve, swinging a foul, strike 1. Rick Mundy on deck. No ball, 1 strike pitch to Russell. Swings off the curveball, fouls it away again. Strike 2. Here's the 0-2 from Rooker. Sliced to right and going out foul at the last moment. Way down in the corner. That baby stays fair. He's got himself a base hit of only one base because Zisk was over there quickly, and there's no way Russell could have ripped that into a double. No balls, 2 strikes. Just playing over toward the line, rather shallow to rush him. Rooker with 2 down, none on in the 6th inning. Comes in with a breaking ball. He misses this time. Ball 1 and strike 2. Well, for any of the late tuners inners, we'll tell you that those that are tuning in late, that the Cardinals were weathered out tonight in Montreal. They're just standing by to see what happens. If we win, they won't have to play tomorrow. 1-2 pitch. Strike, nope, foul tip. If we lose, they got to play tomorrow. And then if they win, they got to come in here and we'll play on Friday at 1:05. And then whichever team wins that one will play the Dodgers. It'll be sitting there just laughing all the way. But that doesn't mean the Dodgers will win it. But whichever team gets in, if we got a playoff for the Cardinals, well, it has to be in the weaker position. 1-2 pitch. And Russell swings and misses. That's strikeout number 4. So that retires the side, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-2, Chicago. Okay, now for the Pirates in the 6th inning, Stodgel, Zisk, and Sanguin. Chicago, 4 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors. The Pirates, 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. Pirates have 1 unearned run, and the Cubs have a pair. So you take the unearned runs out of there, it'd be a 2-1 ball game. Pitch to Stodgel. Ball outside from Russell. Now the 1-0. Stodgel flicks a foul to the left out of play. Count now 1-1. Willie batting at .302 has 25 homers, 96 runs batted in. Rod Sperring is deep at second, but they don't infield shift him. The 1-1 from Russell. Low and away on a curveball, 2-1. Ball 2, strike 1 to Wilbur. Outfield straight away and very deep. Russell's 2-1 delivery to low, ball 3. He's staying down, trying to keep Stodgel in the park. He has struck him out, however, in the 2nd and again in the 4th. Now out to a count of 3-1. Russell on the 3-1 delivery. Has walked Stodgel to lead the inning. That is the 4th walk. And the batter will be Zisk, who walked and got aboard on an error. Now they're going to play Zisk to pull the ball. Chicago leading 4-2. Stodgel the runner at first base. Big hole off the right side with Fanzone holding. Sperring, the second baseman, way over toward second. The outfield swung way around to the left. Morales gives him about 70 feet of the line. Swinging a foul off a change curveball. Strike 1. Frailing is up along with Stone again. Maybe now they've switched off Stone. We'll double check. Dave Justy up for Pittsburgh. Like Oscar Zamora, the right-hander. It is. No balls and a strike here to Zisk. The pitch. Swing and a miss off a hard slider. Strike 2. 0-2 to count. Willie Stodgel at first base. Held by Carmen Fanzone. Now the 0-2. And it's a bouncer up to the shortstop. And Kessinger steps on second. Throws to first. And they're quickly 2 away. That's the 3rd double play executed by the Cubs, but the middle one was hotly disputed. When Zisk slid into what he thought was the 3rd or 2nd run of the inning, and he was ruled out. And that occasioned some argument. So Sanguian in now. Pop to second and single to left. Russell twist twirls, and Sanguy fouls out of play to the right. No balls, one strike. 2 down, none on, 6th inning. Russell working on a 4-hitter. Sanguy swings on a high pitch and misses. Strike 2. Here comes the 0-2. Sanguy trying to get out of the way of an inside pitch, fouled it off to the right. No balls, 2 strikes. Bitterly cold here tonight in the mid-30s. Temperature expected there tonight was over to drop down to the high 20s. No balls, 2 strikes. Russell on the 0-2, and Sanguy knocks it off the glove and up into center for a base hit. Right off of Russell's glove up into center field. He's on. That'll bring up Ed Kirkpatrick. He's 0 for 2. He flied to center field in the 4th inning. Just tagged, and when he came in, he was ruled out. Chicago telecasters say on their replay it showed that he was safe. But that doesn't mean anything. He's out. So Kirkpatrick standing in. That's the 5th hit of the ball game given up by Russell. Sanguian off first, held by Fanzone. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1. Straight change that time by Russell. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the 0-1. And he bounces it right back to Russell. He jammed him, who throws him off the first base side, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 6 innings of play, it's Chicago 4 and the Pirates 2.
The final innings of today's game, or tonight's game, will be sent to your way by Iron City Beer. When you're really ready to pour on the iron. Well, Shag Crawford, taking no nonsense, and for a very apparent reason that somebody could get injured, has announced that this game will be in danger of forfeit to the Chicago Cubs if people in the left field area continue throwing things on the field. And those things have been glasses and bottles before. It's the first time we've had anything like that. Now, if you're sitting near anybody and you see him throwing something, grab him and take him out to somebody. Rick Mundy leads off the 7th inning. He'll be followed by Kessinger and Cardinal. To tell you, umpires don't lose baseball games for you. Murtaugh said that. And that's the truth. Mundy with a single in 2 at-bats. He walked in the 1st inning and scored the first run of the game. Checks a fastball inside, ball 1. Rooker in a gutty battle after that 1st inning. 2 unearned runs, and he's been battling ever since. Curveball away in the count of 2-0. Pirates have not been able to do anything with Rick Russell tonight. Have had only 1 solid base hit, and that was Sanguian's, and that one just got up the middle against Kessinger and second baseman Rob Spearing. It's the kind of game that Russell has pitched here tonight. The 1-1 pitch, lined up the middle, a base hit by Mundy. He is 2 for 3. Now Rooker again will pitch from the stretch. He has retired the Cubs in order in the 2nd inning and the 6th. Every other time, he's been looking at a runner into scoring position, with the exception of the 1st, when he only had a runner get as far, or in the 5th rather, he had a runner get as far as 1st, and that's all. But he has shut the door since that 1st inning. Kessinger up. Be alert for anything with this situation. A good hit-and-run man. Mundy, pretty good speed at first base. Kessinger 1 for 3. He's hitting away and fouls it back out of play. Jim Marshall, the manager, comes in to talk with Kessinger midway between 3rd and home plate. Kessinger and Billy Williams, the lone veterans remaining from the Cub Ball Club that was there in 1969. They cleaned house. They have 11 or 12 rookies on their ball club this year. They played the Cardinals well in that recent series, and they're doing the same thing to us here in this 3-game set. 4-2 lead for the Cubs. The pitch underway. Kessinger looks at a pitch up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pirates loosen Juan Pizarro and right-hander Jim Minchell. Rooker, the pitcher, would be the second batter up in the 7th inning. A similar situation we had going last night against the Cubs when they took a lead off Royce in the 7th inning. The look at first. A long pause. The pitch, it is bunted off the first base side. Picked up by Kirkpatrick, makes the tag, and moving into second base, Rick Mundy. The sacrifice, unassisted by first baseman Ed Kirkpatrick, but a runner into scoring position. Cardinal now, and Madlock will have the shot at scoring him. Cardinal singled and drove in a run in the first inning. He has bounced to first, out unassisted in the second, and grounded out to shortstop in the 5th inning. Cubs with 9 hits, the Pirates with 5, and the Cubs lead 4-2. Rooker can ill afford to give up any more runs. He has stranded runners in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning. Now they'll have to do it again. Rooker has a sign, checks Mundy. The pitch underway. Hopped into shallow left field. It's going to be trouble. Scargill coming on. No, he's got time to get under. He's got it. That ball carried a bit farther than it first appeared, as Cardinal hit it off his thumbs, but got it out deep enough for Scargill to make the grab. 2 down. Mundy still at second base, and Madlock will be the batter. Hebner made a damaging error in the first inning on a ball hit by Madlock, a double play ball. Threw wildly into second base, stunted a bit late getting over there, too. And the combination of that gave the Cubs 2 unearned runs in the first inning. And that's the difference in this ball game right now. The Cubs lead 4-2. Madlock 1 for 2, 1 for 3 on the night. He singled his last time up, just up the middle. Down on the end of the bat, stockily built right-handed batter, a rookie. The pitch underway. Swing and a foul. He tried to hit it right out of here. Strike 1. That one off the chest protector of Sanguin. Bitterly cold evening here for baseball, about 37 degrees. But the pennant race bubbling over with the Pirates needing a win or a Cardinal loss to pick up their 4th Eastern Division title. Cardinals were rained out tonight in Montreal. The count of 0-1. Rooker's pitch to Madlock. In there, taking strike 2. He caught him looking. Well, Rooker could use a big strikeout right here to get out of this one. On deck batter, Jerry Morales. But 2 down. Rooker goes to the back of the mound, off the mound, and hitches up his belt. No belt, but just hitches up his pants. Days of the belts in baseball are long gone with double knit uniforms. Mundy at second base. Rooker staring in, gets the sign from Sankey, and the count of 0-2. And the pitch. He jammed him, and it's popped to second base. Stennett makes a play, an easy looping ball, and Rooker again gets out of it. Now, Rooker has pitched a very gutty ball game since that first inning. He's been in trouble, but has worked his way out of it every time. And we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. The Cubs lead 4-2. The crowd standing for the 7th inning stretch, and Tavares will be the leadoff batter. Will pinch hit for Rooker as Dave Justy starts to loosen in the Pirate bullpen, along with, looks like, John Moreland. Tavares has walked and singled, and he has scored both of our runs, and his speed has been the difference in both of those runs. He walked, went to second on a single by Rooker, and moved to third on a fly ball to shallow center field, and then scored on a ground out. He hits the third base. Madlock short hops the ball. He's got him at first, 1 down. All right, Mr. Russell has done a job on the big buck bats tonight, and particularly Hebner, Oliver, and Stargell. Hebner has been the only one to get the ball out of the infield off him. And that's the secret of his pitching tonight. The ability to get out the big bats, the left-handers, Hebner, Oliver, and Stargell. Paul Popovich will pinch hit. He got the Bucs going last night in a situation similar to this with a triple in the 7th inning. He pinch hits for Jim Rooker. Now Rooker, the pitcher of record for the Bucs. Trailing 4-2. Popovich batting at 220. No home runs, driven in 5. The pitch by Russell, fouled, and just beneath our broadcasting booth, strike 1. Russell's 0-1 pitch. Low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. The attendance tonight, 22,725. The 1-1 pitch by Russell. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Russell lifetime against the Bucs is 5-6. He is 3-1 this year. He leads 4-2. The 1-2 pitch. Up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The windup, the 2-2 pitch. Routed weakly to second base. Rob Sperring's got him at first. 2 down. And that'll bring up Rennie Stennett. Pirate bats have not been stifled this much in a long, long time. This guy is pitching one whale of a ball game. There has not been a difficult out. And as I said, the only well-hit ball, and that one really just up the middle by Sanguillen. Off the glove of the pitcher. Stennett grounds to shortstop, and Kessinger, an easy play. The Bucs go down without any noise in the 7th inning. Now we've completed 7 and the Cubs lead 4-2. The new pitcher for the Pirates will be Dave Justy coming in the 8th inning. He'll be facing Morales, Fanzone, and Swisher. Rooker went 7 innings, gave up 9 hits, struck out 4. He walked 2, and he gave up 4 runs in the 1st inning. 2 of them unearned runs, and those 2 runs now turn out to be the ball game here. As we move into the final 2 innings, Justy set to work. Once again, here's Bob Prince.
Okay, Nellie. Let's see as we go into the 8th inning. Rooker will be on the hook for it, but still got a couple innings to go. Morales, Fanzone, and Swisher. We just wish a happy birthday to Bobby Robertson, who last night was a big hero when he popped home run out of the ballpark to win it. And Justy was the man that was the recipient of the victory. Well, Morales standing in. He beat out a base hit on a ball that skidded to the right off the glove of Rennie Stennett to drive in a run back in the 1st inning. He walked in the 3rd, and he bounced into a forced play in the 5th. So they're going to play him to pull. Justy peering in now to get the sign, and it'll wind up the pitch. Breaks it outside, ball 1. Morales, Fanzone, and Swisher in the Cub 8th. Cubs lead 4-2. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Right there for a called strike on the outside corner this time. Ball 1, strike 1. Here's the 1-1 delivery, and he's in there again, strike 2. Quite an article in this week's issue of the Sporting News by Leonard Coppett. He's dead against the expansion of ball clubs on the roster side anytime during the year. Morales strikes out swinging on the pond ball. In other words, he thinks that it's a 25-man game, once you cut down from spring training, and it ought to remain that way right through the season. His argument is that you bring up a lot of guys that you never get a chance to see, and nobody knows anything about them, and they might win or lose a game for you, and then you go right back down to the 25-man roster. There's a swing and a miss by Fanzon when you get into the championship series and the World Series. So he argues that it is not right to bring up, well, on our case, fellas like Mitchell, Jimenez, and keep on going. The same with Chicago, and the Cardinals have got a ton of them themselves. 0-1 pitch. Bounce foul past Jim Marshall at third. Strike two. No balls, 2 strikes. In the 8th inning, Fanzon the batter, Jay Justy, in relief of Rooker. Rooker, who was batted for. Now the 0-2 pitch. And it's hit foul off third again. There was one stage when the Pirates had a fairly good lead on the Cardinals, and a couple of things happened that really hurt them. One was that Doc Ellis had his hand broken, and he'd been winning. He'd won 9 in a row. He was going great. And at the same time that occurred, Justy was out with a bad back. And those 2 losses at that critical point about 3 weeks ago made a great difference. The 0-2 pitch. High, ball 1. But that's all part of baseball. One ball, 2 strike delivery to Fanzon. Struck him out. That's strikeout number 6. Second for Justy. And the batter will be Swisher, who's 0 for 3. Fly to right, struck out swinging, and fly to center. Swisher, right-hand batter, they play him the pull. Justy peering in for the sign, bends and comes down. Right on the outside corner with a slider. No balls in the strike. Chicago leading 4-2 here in the 8th inning. Rooker right back, palm ball, swing and a miss, strike 2. Justy. Right on the outside corner with a slider. No balls in the strike. Chicago leading 4-2 here in the 8th inning. Rooker right back, palm ball, swing and a miss, strike 2. Justy. 22,725 here on a very frigid night. No ball, 2 strike pitch, and he just missed outside, and Justy's staring at the plate umpire, wondering what was wrong with that one. Ball 1 and strike 2. Mr. Kibler's had the ire of the fans on him pretty much tonight. He's hanging right in there, though. Ball 1 and strike 2. Here comes the pitch. Struck him out swinging. Justy strikes out the side. So it's 3 up and 3 down, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. And the score, Chicago 4, the Pirates 2. Well, here in the 8th inning, Russell comes to Hebner, Oliver, and Stodgel, and they keep it rolling 6. And the fans realize this is where the Pirates are going to hopefully make a move. Hebner is 0 for 3, but grounded into a force out in third that drove in a run. Batting currently at .292. Russell working. Hebner smacks it off the right side, knocked down by Sparing. He throws him out on a great play. That guy Sparing has been some kind of second baseman tonight. That's about the 3rd great play that young man has made. That looked like a base hit, but he railed it in there. Here's Oliver now. He was robbed back in the 5th inning by Sparing. He's 0 for 3. Time called. Center fielder Rick Mundy. Somebody threw something out in right field down by Morales.
Another bottle out there. That's ridiculous.
I'm sorry to see that. This is the first time I've ever seen this happen in Pittsburgh. I've seen it happen in a lot of other cities, but never here. And Morales is coming in off the field with the bottle. Oh, that's terrible.
I was saying this, you've got to see somebody throw something like that from the upper deck. You ought to just get them by the scuff of the neck and take them out yourself if you're sitting there. Guys like that ruin a ball game for everybody else. They're idiots. I don't know what other words you could use for them.
Well, right now, Morales is walking off the field. The umpire's trying to stop him, and it looked like Morales doesn't want to play out there for a time being. I'll tell you one thing that can happen if you keep throwing it. You can cause the game to be forfeited and won by Chicago. Just that simple.
That announcement was made 2 innings ago, Bob, by Art McKinnon, and it's on the board once again.
Morales is coming in. He's not going out to right field.
I can't blame him.
The whole Chicago club is walking off the field. The entire ball club is walking off the field. That bottle narrowly missed hitting Morales in the head. And unless you can control it, you can cost the Pirates a chance to win this ball game. Now the fans are really upset, but listen, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care how upset you get. You cannot condone the throwing of objects that can injure somebody. There's just no sportsmanship at all about that. And I am ashamed to have to report this is the first time I've seen this happen. Our Pirates have come out and have waved their hands to the fans, asked them to please stop that. The Cubs have left the field of play. There's not a one of them out there. So the police are coming out. There isn't a thing they can do about it. The only thing you could do, like Nellie said, if you see somebody let it go from where you are, turn that person in. That's what happened in New York. They turned him in over there, and they stopped it pretty quickly. Now we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen here. All I know is that if the Cubs don't come out and play, and the umpire feel they have just cause to not come out and play, we will lose the game on a forfeit to the Cubbies because somebody is dumb enough to throw a bottle. And I
Probably
mean
the first
exactly
time
that.
he's been out here all year, too.
You know, an object like that, fans coming out of the stands, you'd hit a ball where you could kill a man. And unfortunately, it's ruining it for about 22,723 people because they've been great. Just been one or two. Now the Cubs are coming back out. But we don't see a right fielder out there yet. And that's Morales. Oh, we'll see. Al Oliver is waiting to step in. They're still missing a right fielder. He's coming out with a hard hat on. He's going out into right field with a batting helmet on. And I must say, I don't blame him a bit. Most of the people in right field out there are applauding Morales coming out, though. There are really, ladies and gentlemen, 99 and 9/10% of these fans here are not in favor of what's happened. All right, Al Oliver, the batter. 1 out, none on, 4-2 Chicago. Oliver takes it low, ball 1. The Buccos need a bloop and a blast to draw even. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the pitch. Oliver hits a ball a mile to left field. Running hard is Cardinal. And he runs it down on a magnificent catch at the 340 mark. A great running catch by Cardinal down the left field line right at the 340 mark. Yes, sir, that was a fine play. Here's Stargell, struck out twice and drew a walk. Chicago leading 4-2 in the 8th. The first inning thus far has been the telltale. A walk, a single, and a double play ball that was blown, and a bad error that allowed 2 big runs to come in. 4 all told. Cardinal takes a strike, and he questions the call. Just with a stare, and that's all. No balls, a strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. I don't know what'll happen tomorrow in Montreal, but let's say we lose this, and Montreal should win. Somebody somewhere will write that the Pirates backed into the Eastern Division Championship. Somebody can't miss that line. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Cardinal goes down swinging, and Russell has his 5th strikeout. So at the end of 8 innings, it's 4-2 Chicago. Dave Justy will work the sparing Russell and Mundy here in the 9th inning. The Chicago Cubs on top 4-2. Let me recap now what's going to happen here in the event the Pirates lose this game. So that if you're just tuning in somewhere around the country, you'll understand. Tonight, Montreal and Cardinals could not play because of very inclement weather. And they're scheduled to go tomorrow, weather permitting, at 1:05. Or is it 12:05? And then, if Montreal wins the game, the Pirates are the National League Eastern champions and will start against the Dodgers Saturday. If Montreal loses, that is, the Cardinals win it, they'll then come to Pittsburgh. Ball outside to sparing, and the Pirates and the Cardinals will then play Friday at 1:05 to determine the National League champion. And the winner of that game will then go on to play the Dodgers in their respective park, here in Pittsburgh or in St. Louis, depending on the outcome of Friday's encounter. 1 ball, 1 strike, and a foul back by Sparing. Sparing's had a run driven in 3 at-bats with 2 hits, has sparkled in the field brilliantly, as has Cardinal on the left. 1 ball, 1 strike to the right-hand batting Sparing. Yes, he swung 1 and 2. He looks like he could be the answer for Chicago's second base problems, Nellie.
He has played the best game I've seen him play. And as you said, he made 3 outstanding plays. That one on Hebner was really good.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Rob. He goes down swinging, and Justy has struck out 4 in a row. That's 8 strikeouts. Here comes Russell, who's 0 for 2, sacrificed in between 2 strikeouts. All the scoring for Chicago went in the first inning when they put 9 men to the plate, and 2 of the 4 runs were unearned. The Pirates scored in the 3rd an unearned run in the 5th. So taking the errors out of the game, the score should be 2-1 Chicago. But it's 4-2 Chicago. Russell awaiting the pitch, grounds it down to the shortstop. Tavares backhands the ball from the hole, throws low. Kirkpatrick holds for the out. I'll say one thing, that Russell ran it out. That was a bang-bang play at first base. All right, 2 down to Rick Mundy, who's been a batting star. This is the highest he's ever hit in the majors. He's batting at about 295 right now. And his 20 home runs a career high for him also. He has 2 hits and 3 at-bats. He's taking lots of time, giving Russell a little more breathing room. Rick walked in the first inning and scored, grounded to short, then singled in the 4th and again in the 7th.
Center fielder, Rick Monday.
He had 26 homers that last year, but this is 20 this year. But he has a high batting average he's ever had in the majors at 294. So Justy, with 2 down, comes to him with a palm ball. He's upstairs a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Chicago leading 4-2. Justy quickly back with a breaking ball. He's high to Rick, 2-0. Where Russell has controlled things, he has stopped Hebner, Oliver, and Stargell. And I mean has stopped, and Zisk, and stopped them cold. There's a strike. Hebner has had only 1 ball out of the infield, and went 0 for 4. Oliver is 0 for 4 and had 1 ball out of the infield. Stargell is 0 for 3 and struck out all 3 times. Foul back. Zisk. Stargell is 0 for 3 and struck out all 3 times. Foul back. Zisk has been up just 3 times, walked once, got on an error, and hit into a double play. Where the damage has occurred, as far as Russell's concerned, is with Tavares up there. where he's walked and scored and singled and scored. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, none on, 9th inning. 4-2 Chicago. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Into the dirt. Justy put a little too much on it. We'll pause for station identification on the Pirate Cardinal Baseball Network.
All the good sports are on Pirate KDKA Pittsburgh.
Phil Necro just won his 20th game as Atlanta beat Cincinnati 13-0. Justy just underneath the Monday, ball 4. So that is walk number 3. And brings up Kessinger, who's had 1 hit and 3 at-bats and scored a run. Interesting to see the type of a lineup Cincinnati threw in that last game, losing 13-0. Tonight, the Cubs say goodbye to each other and go their separate ways. Pirates remain in town to find out what's going to happen tomorrow up in Montreal. Foul back. I believe it's Lynn McLaughlin for the Cardinals, and it should be Rinko for Montreal. That ought to be quite a matchup. No balls, 1 strike. Pitch. Swing and a miss on a foul ball, strike 2 to left-hand batting Kessinger. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 down here in the 9th inning. Looking ahead to the Pirates' 9th inning, they have Sis, Sanguin, and Kirkpatrick, the scheduled first 3 batters. 0-2 count to Kessinger. Monday off first base. High, they pitched out. Monday wasn't going. If there was a pitch out, it seemed sure looked like one. Ball 1 and strike 2. And there's a slammer out toward right, toward Zisk, and he's got it to retire the side. So we come down to the bottom of the 9th inning, and Chicago's leading 4-2. All right, Richie Zisk, the batter. Richie walked, got on an error, and bounced into a double play. The Cub bullpen is up and firing. Russell getting a sign now. Delivers, and just takes it outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Next pitch, inside, ball 2, 2-0. Sanguin, the on-deck batter. Russell, 2 balls, no strikes. Starts his motion, the pitch. He's over low, ball 3, 3-0. And out to talk with his pitcher is Steve Swisher. So Russell has gone to this 3-0. To lead it off the 9th, and the fans are in a frenzy. Chicago leading 4-2. Russell has his sign, and here comes the 3-0 pitch. He walked him. That's the 5th walk. Right about here is the only time you could really say where in the 4th inning, if they'd have called Fisk safe, it'd be a 4-3 game and the Pirates would have a bunt. But they don't. We're going to have Miguel Delaunay run for Fisk. And every time he's gone in to run, something has happened. Delaunay, D-I-L-O-N-E. And he can fly. All they're putting him in for is to help break up the possibility of a double play. If Sanguin should get a gap shot, he could score. Inside, ball 1 to Sanguin. Russell having trouble. Sanguin top to second. Single to left. Single to center. 1-0 count. Russell comes to the plate. He throws a strike, and it's 1-1. Right over the heart of the dish. Delaunay, short lead at first base. Russell on the 1-1 to Sanguin. Foul off the right side and out of play, and a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Richie Zisk opened the inning with a base on balls. Delaunay went in to run for him. Sanguin the batter, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kirkpatrick on deck. Crowd in a roar here now. Here's the 1-2 to Sanguin. Outside, ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Again, Russell ready. Delaunay a short lead, the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3, low. This is unusual to see Sanguin go this far in the ball and strike count. Normally when he walks, it's either an intentional walk or paralysis is set in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The long look to pitch. Foul back off a fastball. Ball 3, strike 2. Well, this is what the game of baseball is all about, isn't it? On deck is Eddie Kirkpatrick. 4-2 Chicago. Delaunay at first. The 3-2 to Sanguin. He's running. Foul back. That time we were hitting and running. Delaunay had second base really pilfered, but it's of no value other than the fact that Sanguin had a base hit into the gap. Delaunay could score and Sanguin could be in scoring position if he could get a bug on the rug, which for you St. Louis fans means extra base hits. Ball 3 and strike 2 to Sanguin. Delaunay a short lead at first. Sanguin steps out. All right, we're ready to go now. Russell has the sign. And Delaunay goes back into first base on a strong throw over there. Cubs leading 4-2 in the 9th inning. They open up with a walk to Zisk. They put in Miguel Delaunay to run for him. Full count of 3-2 to Sanguin. Delaunay back in at first base. Time call as the plate of the first base umpire says he wants to put the bag back in position. That's Terry Tata. Ball 3 and strike 2. Delaunay a short lead at first. He's running. The pitch inside, ball 4. Oh, brother. Now the Pirates have 2 men on and nobody out. And Ed Kirkpatrick coming up. He's 0 for 3. And Kessinger's in to talk to Russell. Jose Pedon is going out to say something to Miguel Delaunay. And out comes Jim Marshall. This is what it's all about, Nellie.
I'll tell you, what you hope to have happen here is that some sort of a change get away from Russell, because the job he has done, we haven't hit a ball good off him all night. He has done a tremendous job, and it looked like he was pushing it a bit here, particularly against this. He aimed a couple of pitches on him. You get into the 9th inning with a lead like this, and it's a big ball game. It doesn't mean that much, but Rick Russell knows what it means to the Pirates. He knows what it means to St. Louis. And you got a lot of pride or you wouldn't be up here pitching in the major league. And I think he just was pushing it a bit on that first batter, Richie Zisk. We're going to stay with him, though.
Well, the same thing like Mike Jorgensen said. He said hitting the home run to beat the Cardinals last night was a big thrill. Not because it was the Cardinals. It's because it's the thing you're supposed to do. To play this game honestly and to the best of your ability. And the Cardinals and the Cubs and the Pirates wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, Kirkpatrick the batter. Now, Sanguin is telling Delaunay something, and you can bet hablo en español. Kirkpatrick the batter. Madlock comes up at third. Panzone at first. 2 men on, nobody out. 4-2 to score Chicago. 9th inning. Russell delivers. Kirkpatrick squares for the bunt. Lays down a beauty. Russell comes up firing in time for the out. But the runners are at second and third with 1 away. Boy, what a beautiful bunt, and he almost bunted for a base hit. It was just bang, bang, and we're going to have a pinch batter, Dave Parker.
Say, he gets that bunt out a little bit farther. He's got himself a base hit. It was a well-executed bunt.
It was a beauty. Well, Dave Parker coming in now, left-hand batter, batting at .283, 4 homers, 28 runs batted in. The Pirates need a base hit somewhere out of the infield to tie it up. Russell with runners at second and third and 1 out, working to the Cobra. The outfield deep and straight away. This guy has awesome power also. Here's the pitch. High ball.
He aimed that curveball, too. He didn't throw that one very good, Bob. He's thrown 18 home run balls.
Well, I'd like to see him throw number 19. I know you folks in St. Louis wouldn't like to see it. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's a bouncer off his glove. Up to second base. They throw for the out, and a run scores. They get a great break on the ball bouncing off his glove up into the air where Sperring could get to it. If Russell doesn't get a hold of it, it's all over. Now here's Bobby Robertson. And the fans hope he can do it again. I'll tell you, if that ball is up over Russell's head by about 1 more inch, the Pirates would have tied the game. There's no way they could have gotten to it. The out on Parker goes 1, 4, 3. Delaunay scoring, and Sanguillen's at third. And Bobby Robertson, the hero of last night's game, with a 2-run homer standing in. Batting at .230, 16 homers, 48 runs batted in.
Seems like every game this month has gone this way, or the last month of the season.
Yep.
It's been thrilling baseball.
Russell will wind up. The outfield will way around to the left and deep. Pitch to Bobby Robertson. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 on the slider. Chicago leading 4-3. Here in the 9th inning with 2 down and Sanguillen at third. The Bucs need an errant play or a base hit to tie it up. And the long one would win it. Russell in the windup. The 0-1 pitch. Upstairs. And Russell did not like that call. He thought he had a strike. Ball 1 and strike 1. Oh, Parker came within a fraction of an inch of tying up the ball game. Just enough that he could deflect it. 1-1. Ball outside, almost threw it away. Swisher made a great save, or the game would have been tied on a wild pitch. Ball 2, strike 2.
He hasn't thrown him a fastball yet.
Nope. Ball 2 and strike 1. Sanguillen at third. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Robertson. High, ball 3. And Russell is griping now with the plate umpire, and he's all over Kibler. 3 balls and a strike. And now the Swisher apparently is on Kibby, too, because there's some jawing going on down there. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the 3-1 delivery to Robertson. He calls a strike 2, and it's 3-2 now. Well, I want to tell you, this is quite a ball game.
Sure is.
Ball 3 and strike 2. 2 out. 4-3 in the 9th inning. Pitch to Robertson. And a foul back. Bobby just got a piece of it. Russell opened up the inning by walking Zisk and Sanguillen. Kirkpatrick bunted beautifully and just missed a base hit by a Nats eyelash. And that's where the story of this game is now. Then Parker, batting for Tavares, hit a chopper back over the mound, and Russell just got enough of it to deflect it over to Sperring for the out as the run scored. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Robertson. And it's another foul ball. No, he missed it. They score from Sanguillen. The throw to third. It's Robertson. The ball goes into right field. We tied the game. Robertson going to second base. Well, how about that? Pirates have come out and asked everybody to be calm. Don't throw anything. Now, let me recap this for you. Robertson swung and missed, strike 3. And the ball got away from the catcher, Swisher. And it'll be a strikeout, a pass ball. And then what happened, Swisher appeared to be confused because he didn't throw right away. Meanwhile, Sanguin scored the tying run. When Swisher did throw, he hit Robertson right in the back of the head. And the ball went on down the right field line, and Robertson went into second with the error. So you put down a strikeout. You put down a pass ball. And you also put down an error on the catcher, putting Robertson up at second. Now you move Augustine in to run for Robertson. And you put Sanguin in to score on the pass ball. And the game is tied at 4-4. And the winning runner's out at second. And there's a big conference going on. I think they're trying to say that Robertson was running out of the baseline again. But he was running right smack dab down the line. And there's no way in the world you're ever going to be able to talk him out of that. You can talk till heck freezes over. But the fans started to throw things, and the Pirates came out right away and put their hands up and said, hey, now don't get us fouled up in this game. Now all the Cubs are out in the center of the diamond with the umpires, with Jim Marshall and company. There's no Cub in the outfield. And every Pirate has come out of the dugout bench, and they're holding their hands up and say, come on now, fans, please, Dodgel, everybody, asking them to sit down and behave themselves. They're exuberant. Danny Murtaugh's come out. They're asking for fair play. At the same time, they're pleading for their opportunity to win a ball game. And I'll tell you something. This is unbelievable. Zist walked. Delaunay ran for him. Sanguin walked. Kirkpatrick narrowly missed a base hit on a bunt, which was a sacrifice. Wait a minute.
We can be the losers. And we can be the losers only. We'll appreciate it if you'll stay in your
Art
seat.
McKinnon said, I've been the public address announcer here for 35 years. Could you hear it all right, Bill? Thank you. They tuned it in. Murtaugh's going down the line, asking everybody to please don't throw things. I'm not going to be critical to this extent. 99% of the fans or more are for this game being played the way it should be played. And somebody has apprehended somebody down below that did throw something, and the security officers have gone in and grabbed that person. All of these fans, with the exception of one or two, are fair play fans. They want to see this thing done the way it should be done. And it's spoiling it for 99 9/10% of the people. Murtaugh's walking all the way out in the center field saying, please, come on, let's be fair about this thing. You can't ask the Chicago Cubs to go out there and get hit. I don't care. You just can't ask them to do it. They're playing a whale of a ball game. They're fighting the daylights out of us. They have no place to go in this National League race. They're playing with the pride of a professional athlete. They're trying to beat a team out of the championship, and that's the way this game should be played, Nellie, and no other way.
That's the way it is played. And you're right. I don't know what the fascination is with anybody, the mentality of anybody that throws bottles out on the field anyway. It's a little lower than most animals, I would assume, but there are people like it around, I'm sure. You cannot blame Jerry Morales or Rick Mundy or Jose Cardenal for fearing for their lives when they see things like that. And this city has never had this before, and I don't know where they came from tonight, but out of the woodwork or something.
Well, I'll tell you this. I apologize on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh to the Chicago Cub fans and to the Chicago players. I truly do. I apologize for this deplorable act on the part of one or two people, and on behalf of the St. Louis Cardinal Ball Club and everybody else. It's a disgrace. And the funny part, not the funny part, the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, of the 22,000 here, I'll guarantee you 22,725 people, I'll guarantee you 22,720 are good. There's just 3 or 4 of them that are the ones that are ruining it for everybody. Now, Augustine is the runner out at second base. And the batter Stennett with 1 hit and 3 at bats. The score is tied at 4-4 in a most unbelievable 9th inning you've ever witnessed. Or at least I've ever witnessed. And I've been in this game 30 years. Now, Augustine at second. If Stennett gets a base hit and the Pirates will win this, I won't have to say anything to you. You'll know by the roar. All right, Russell ready. The pitch. Foul back. Just imagine the heartbreak of Russell. He struck out the pinch batter Robertson for what should have been the game retiring out. And a pass ball, the heartbreak of Swisher, for having the ball get away from him. And then the delay of holding onto the ball. And then when he did throw it, he hits Robertson, which allows Sanguin to score and Robertson to go to second, with what now is the winning run in the form of Augustine. Here's the 0-1 to Stennett. Swinging on this strike two, and he's trying to kill it. The youngster's adrenaline is flowing a little more than it ought to be. Well, I don't know whether it ought to be or not. I think it's flowing. Why shouldn't it be? He's trying to kill it. Mine isn't at all. I'm the calmest guy in the group. No balls. 2 strikes to Stennett. The pitch. He bounces one hopper back to Russell, who throws for the out. But I want to tell you, that inning showed 2 runs with not 1 base hit in there, and not 1 ball out of the infield, and 1 pass ball, and 1 throwing error, and 1 man left. And you can't tie a game up any more imaginatively than that. At the end of 9, we're tied up 4-4.
Well, we're going overtime in what is the final game of 1974. That's the regular season. There may be more baseball here Friday, and that's determined by what's going to happen in overtime. Ramon Hernandez will be the 3rd pitcher for the Pirates, following Dave Justy, who had another fine outing. He won 2 innings, gave up no hits. He struck out 4, and he walked 1. Hernandez came in yesterday, and he does not prefer to pitch in cold weather. But he has no preference here because the Pirates need his arm, and they need a good strong arm here, and he's been the veteran pitcher for them. He faced 2 batters last night, gave up a single to Mundy, but Stargell made a very big play, throwing the runner out at the plate, and they gave up a triple to Don Kessinger that scored a run. Well, he didn't fare too well last night. He'll go against Cardinal, Madlock, and Morales in the 10th inning. 3 right-handed batters. Ramon Hernandez, a native of Puerto Rico. And as we said, these temperatures are not conducive to Puerto Rican living. Just a wild finish. Bucs have put Miguel Delaunay in the right field, replacing Richie Zitz. You know, the rookie gets a baptism under a very big ball game here. It means everything. Cardinal, a pitch by Hernandez, is up high, ball 1. The temperature at game time was 38 degrees, and it hasn't gotten any warmer. The action has, in the late innings here, an unbelievable 9th inning. Steve Swisher dropping the final strike for Bobby Robertson on a 3-2 pitch. It got away from him on the 3rd base side of home plate over toward the Cub dugout. He dropped it once, and that lost the ball game for them. They lost the tie, rather. Pitch is in there, 1 ball, 1 strike. Russell appeared to have it all wrapped up. But the Angels are flying around the outfield here. The 1-1 pitch, ground ball up the middle. It's a base hit. On to the center field. Mendoza couldn't cut it off. And the Cubs come right back. And Ramon, having his problems here, has faced 3 batters in 2 nights and has given up 3 straight hits. Pirates loosen Jim Minshall and Juan Pizarro. Madlock has had 1 hit in 4 at-bats. See how Jim Marshall plays it, the 3rd base coach and manager. Whether they'll be bunting with the on-deck batter, Morales. 4-4 is the score. We're in the top of the 10th inning in a game that means everything to the Pirates and the Cardinals. Swinging away, pops it foul out of play down the left field line. They weren't bunting that time. Madlock that time was hitting away. Takes a look now at 3rd base coach Marshall. Marshall's coaching staff depleted. Spangler has already left, and Hank and Gary, too. They are not coming back next year. Cardinal at first. A look over there. The pitch underway to Madlock. Ground ball to shortstop, and Mendoza gets the out at second base, and no play at first. Stennett threw, but he had no play there. Not a very wise throw by Rennie. But Kirkpatrick came off the bag to get it. They get the lead man. Cardinal out at second base. 6-4. And Madlock on at first. The batter, Jerry Morales, singled, drove in a run in the first inning, walked in the third, on in the fourth play in the fifth, and Justy struck him out in the eighth inning. This guy, a good hitter, 15 home runs, driven in 82 runs. Madlock has had some ankle problems. He doesn't run with the speed of Cardinal. The pitch to is a ground ball right side. Stennett up to Mendoza, the out there to throw to first. Double play! Well, the Bucs turn over their first double play of the night. They missed two previously that really hurt them in the first inning. The one later, not so much, but they came back with this one. Rennie to Mendoza to Kirkpatrick for the out. No runs on one hit, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning, still tied 4-4. The new pitcher for the Chicago Cubs is going to be Ken Frayling. That's all for Rick Russell, who pitched a whale of a ball game here tonight. He gave up 4 runs, 5 hits, and to be quite honest with you, none of them with any real authority at all. Sanguin hit the only one that went up the middle off the glove of the pitcher Russell, and that occurred in the 6th inning. The best pitching performance we've seen Russell have, despite the fact that he shut us out in Chicago on a 12-hitter. He pitched a whale of a ball game. 9 innings, 4 runs, 5 hits. He walked 6, 2 big walks in his 9th inning, and he struck out 6. And the 6th strikeout turned out to be the big one for the Bucs. Ken Frayling is a new pitcher, a left-hander. He was with the Chicago White Sox, and he came over in the Ron Santo deal. Frayling's record 6-8, an earned run average of 3.82. He beat the Pirates earlier this year, 1-0 in Chicago in very cold temperatures. Hebner, the leadoff batter, and the windup, and the pitch underway by Frayling. He is in there with a strike. Game number 162. It's overtime. It means everything. What a season. The 0-1 pitch. Curve outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The windup on the 1-1 pitch by Frayling inside on the corner, taken by Hebner. Strike 2. Curveball. Hebner gave way to it. He hung it inside, and Hebner backed off. Frayling has thrown 11 home run balls, given up 149 hits and 125 in a 3rd inning. The 1-2 pitch. And Hebner swings and misses strike 3. Chased a very bad pitch way outside. Ritchie having a rough night here. First strikeout for Frayling, of course, the 7th of the ball game, and that'll bring up Al Oliver. This is where Russell dominated the ball game against the Bucs. Hebner, Oliver, and Stargell did not hit the ball with any authority at all. Fastball, line to left field. It's a fair ball down the line. It's in there for 2. Oliver's moving into second base. Cardinal picks it up. And Oliver's coming to third. There's a play. He is safe. Oliver takes the third with a triple.
Boy, Nellie, you're so right. He was driving. He wasn't thinking of anything but 3. He saw the ball bobble just momentarily, as you called it, in left field, and did he bring it home?
Well, we're going to have some interesting strategy here. The Cubs, of course, need a double play someplace. What do you do here?
Walk 2.
You load up the bases and take your chances. If that would be the case, they'd have to pitch to Sanguin after they walk Stargell and Miguel Delaunay. The Cubs are loosening in their bullpen. Oh, Bob will take a look at that as Jim Marshall comes out to talk to Frayling. But Oliver went with a pitch to left field, and he rifled it down there fair by about 2 feet. It caromed off the bullpen fence, and Cardinal got a bad hop off the wall. And Oliver, as Bob remarked, hightailed it around second. He was going for 3 all the way, and he moved in there. The play was not in time to get him. And the Pirates are 90 feet away from an unbelievable victory here after they appeared to be out of it, Bob, and a strikeout for the 3rd out in the 9th inning.
Yes, sir. There's a funny thing. They say the ball game is never over till the final out. Tonight you see a ball game where the game was not over on the final out. They struck out the man for the final out, and they didn't get him because of the pass ball. Now, Nellie, one other thing I want to remind the folks, if we win this game, I'll hold the microphone here for the moment till you get down to the locker room, and we'll have some pandemonium down there. Go ahead and describe her, Nellie.
We'll worry about that. I couldn't care less right now. We'll see what happens. We're going to walk Sturgill. An intentional walk to him. He will walk Delaney, and it's the only percentage play that the Cubs had. And Oliver made it all possible by his hustle, Bob, and moving into third base.
Well, he was running so hard going into second. And the moment he saw the ball start around from the 340 mark, as you described, as they're still walking Sturgill, it couldn't have been more than a fraction that what Cardinale had to do, being a right-hand thrower, was turn around and get the ball, then turn and throw to the third base, and that's where Mr. Oliver had made his move.
It's ball 4 to Willie Sturgill, and Delaney now is not going to bat. They're going to bat Gene Kleins in place of Miguel Delaney.
The outfield, meanwhile, was practically another infield. They're way in. I can't believe this ball game. It isn't over yet, but I can't believe what I've looked at.
This season has been the most emotional up and down season I think I've ever seen. You've watched baseball, Major Leagues, for 27 years, and this is just unreal the way this thing is going.
Sure is. Now they're going to walk Kleins. Tell you one thing, we got a lot of speed on there.
Kleins is pinch hitting for Miguel Delaney, and they're setting it up for Manny Sanguillen. The bases will be loaded after the walk to Kleins.
Now they got Oscar Zamora and Steve Stone warming out there, Nellie.
A couple of right-handed pitchers loosening, so more than likely Jim Marshall will go to the right-handed batter to pitch to Manny Sanguillen with the bases loaded and only 1 out here in the bottom of the 10th, and everything wrapped up in the 1974 season right here. Okay, this is it. Sturgill goes to second, climbs down to first on the walk, and Sturgill coming back wants to talk a bit briefly with Kleins at first base. And he's reminding him, I'm sure, that if the ball is hit any place, make sure you tag second base. Right?
Oh, very much so. Marshall's coming out again. We're going to see a right-hander. I saw a ball game lost for failure of the man at first base to go up and tag second. Because you get excited in a thing like this, and you get all exuberant, and you figure a base hit, nothing to it. But unless you go up and tag second base, you've not taken the force off the play, and you could have some problems here. Well, Marshall talking things over. I think so. Now Skinner's going out to talk to Sturgill. And the whole thing is setting up in the back again to the most unbelievable 9th inning when the final out was not the final out. A strikeout. Then when Swisher had the pass ball come to him, it now develops that he dropped the ball. Now he then went to pick it up, and as he did, that delay momentarily there cost him the opportunity to throw out Robertson. And he hit him right in the back of the head, and we got the break that the ball didn't hurt Robertson. 1, and 2 went down the line far enough that we could get Sanguillen to tie it up, and Robertson go to second. So now they're coming on with Oscar Zamora. My goodness sakes, how could you ask anybody to bring one down in 1974 any more finer than this? Now, I'll remind you, if we win it, Nellie will make his way to the locker room, and then I'll join him, and I hope you brought some extra clothing with you, Nellie, because if you didn't, you're going home soaked.
I hope I go home soaked.
Well, we'll go home soaked.
Let's get her in here. Don't worry about that when we get that one.
You're going to get it.
Oscar Zamora came in last night and faced one batter, Paul Popovich, who tripled over the head of Morales in right field and then came on to score on a wild pitch by Dave LaRoche when he came on to relieve him. As you can imagine, the pressure not only on Sanguillen, but on Oscar Zamora. The bases are loaded, and he's coming on to pitch to Manny Sanguillen. Zamora's record is 3-9. This is his 56th appearance, all of them in relief. And he has only walked 19 batters, and 7 of those were intentional walks. So he's picked the right guy to come in with the bases loaded. He will not get behind and will not walk anybody, and you're going to have to hit the ball someplace. And Sanguin is a tough guy to walk anyway, as you said. You're going to have paralysis has to set in for him to walk. Tomorrow we'll take, I think, one or two more warm-up tosses, and you'll hear this crowd come alive when it sets in. The bases loaded, the tie game 4-4, bottom of the 10th inning, and the Eastern Division Championship up for grabs for the Pirates if they can get a fly ball or a base hit. The Cubs will play the infield up. They'll play the outfield up. The only percentage play they have, and it was all brought about on a triple by Al Oliver, who hustled it into third. He's at third. Scargill's at second. Kleins is at first base. Sanguin, the pressure on his shoulders, steps in. He's had a couple of singles and a walk in 4 times at bat. Here's the pitch. Foul. Back out of play. Strike one.
Wonder what everybody's so excited about. Just another ball game, isn't it?
That's what some people might say.
Oh, brother.
The count of 0-1 from the belt. The pitch. Ground Bleakley to third base, and a runner's going to score. The Pirates win the pennant. A base hit by Sanguin. Bleakley hitting the Pirates win the Eastern Division Championship.
Aren't they going wild down there, Nellie? Look at them tearing them apart. The fans are all over the ballpark. The Buccos have won the National League Eastern title with a 5-4 victory. Nellie's on his way down to the locker room, and they can't get through. The Pirates can't get through the dugout. The fans are standing all over the infield. The Pirates have won on an unbelievable situation. Absolutely unbelievable. With 1 out, Al Oliver wrapped the drive to left field, and his hustle alone was a triple. And then they walked Stargell and Kleins intentionally. And Sanguin hit a swinging bunt to third base. The only play they were going to have, if Madlock could come up with the ball, is to throw it home. But they weren't going to get Al Oliver. And so, the Pirates win it in an unbelievable fashion and will play the Los Angeles Dodgers for the championship of the National League Saturday afternoon. And I don't know what time, and I don't care right now. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left. The Bucs win it 5-4. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they are tearing this place apart. I want to tell you, they are tearing it apart. Nellie King is working his way down to the locker room, where I will join him for the celebration that will follow down there. And we're going to get soaked, but it'll be worth it. My goodness, what a demonstration. They're going hog wild out here. The fans are rolling all over the field. They're having a great time as the Buccos have won it. 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Chicago 4, 10 and 3. The winning pitcher, Ramon Hernandez, and the loser's going to be Frayling. But I want to tell you about Rick Russell. My heart goes out to that young man, and my congratulations to him for pitching one of the most magnificent and courageous games under extreme circumstances, and only to lose it on a strikeout. And my heart goes out also to the catcher, Steve Swisher, for this young man fought his heart out and had a pass ball come about, and then when he went to throw to get Bobby Robertson, he hit him in the back of the head, and thus the tying run scored. And then with 1 out, Al Oliver hit the doggone smack to left field, and he had one idea in mind: get to third. And get to third he did. And then they did the only thing else they could do. They walked Stargell and Kleins, and Sanguin hit a little top shot down third, and the ball game is over. Oh, my. Well, I'll sign this part off, and then you'll rejoin us in the locker room, won't you? Because this is going to be some celebration down there. Our next broadcast will be when we play the Los Angeles Dodgers Saturday afternoon in the first of a 5-game series for the championship of the National League. Tonight's game was brought to you in part by your Private Land Chrysler Plymouth dealer, who has immediate delivery on America's #1 selling compact. By Joy, nature's high-protein food for dogs. Higher in protein and still costs less than most other brands. and by Iron City Beer. When you're really ready to pour the iron. The Buccos are the Eastern Division champions by a score of 5-4 on the Pirate Baseball Network.
Pirates Baseball. 74.
All right, we're in the Pirates locker room, and the guy that got the game-winning hit, Manny, let me talk to you a minute, can we? Sankey, he's got champagne all over his eyes, and he can't even see anything. But you can talk, Sankey. Some thoughts about that last time at batting that base hit.
Well, Nelly, you see, I'll tell you the truth. I have in my mind to bomb because I know he's going to throw me a slider. So when I see the ball high the first time, that's the way I swing because, you know, I'm a high ball hitter, and he ain't give me the slider, but I wait too much. And the other pitcher, I was waiting for a slider. You see, I don't try to pull the ball. I just want to put it back in the ball.
What's some thoughts about Manny Sanguine, about 1974 and this season? It started so poorly and just suddenly caught fire. It has to be very satisfying.
Yeah, Nelly, I'm really happy because, you know, I started the season slow when I hurt my grip and my right side, and that really, from there, you see, when I was strong was late. You see, like in June and August and July, I was a little tired, but from there, I coming back.
Manny, congratulations. Were you concerned at all in that first inning? You got behind 4 runs. Rookie has done this so many times this year where he's had a bad first inning and come back and pitch so well.
Yeah, he do a couple times, and we know Rookie is a great pitcher like all the other pitcher for Pittsburgh, because the people used to say we don't have a good pitcher and stuff, and we know how to prove. We know we do.
You don't win without good pitching.
It took you 5 years to say that, Sanky. It took you 5 years.
Dave Justy, you've been through this before, and Jim Hooker, of course, it's the first time he's been here. Ed Kirkpatrick, too. Some thoughts about you for the first time, Jim?
It's hard to I can't describe it. You know, it's just a feeling that you have to experience to really describe it. I don't know how to say or what. I'm just so happy.
You seemed very dejected that first inning.
I felt bad because I felt I let the team down, and, you know, coming out like that. This is a game that, you know, we win it, we got it. And as it turned out, things worked out well. I'm just glad that I could hold them as long as I did and give us a chance to come back and win the game.
You've had so many games like that this year. You had a bad first inning, and you just come back and shut the door. It's this ball club's got a little character.
Right. Well, you can't give up. Just keep coming at them and giving your best and hope that it's enough to win the game.
Congratulations on a whale of a year, and the season still goes on.
Right. Thanks, Nellie.
Jim Rooker. Dave Justy, you've been through this. This is the 5th year now, and I think a lot of people...
It's different, so I'll tell you that. It's just as exciting and thrilling as the first one in 1970. But this year especially, I guess like 70, is that, you know, we were down and we had to win 3 ball games against the Mets in 70, and we had to win 3 ball games here against the Cubs. And it's just a miraculous last 2 innings there that we did score a couple runs and won the ball game.
What were your thoughts when Robertson struck out?
Well, I'm going back to inside the locker room. You know, then I saw the ball drop, and I took a right turn there, and then... Run, I said, about as high as I could possibly say it. And just then, you know, the ball hit Robertson on the shoulder, and I knew we were going to win the ball game after that. I just knew it. Somehow we're going to win it. Maybe not that inning, but we were going to win that ball game.
How about personal satisfaction yourself this year? I admired you for many years, but I think this year was a particularly tough one for you. You had a lack of confidence. You lost your confidence early. And only you know the battle you had this year to come back. I'm kind of proud of what you did this year.
Well, I'll tell you, Nellie, is one of those things where you're right. You know, I did lose my confidence, and
it's not bad, isn't it?
Well, it really is. It was for me. I was thinking all kinds of things, being traded and not helping the ball club, and we're down in the doldrums. And I knew if I can get back on the track, I can help the ball club. But things just didn't work out for me the first 2-3 months, and finally, I just was determined to go out there and just, you know, physically I was sound, and to just get my mental attitude in gear and go out there and just do the best possible job I can do. And you
had to get to know Dave Justy pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. You know,
you like him?
I think most people do. Not bad now. Not in April or May, though. I'll tell you.
It's a long season, and we proved it. Congratulations, Dave. Nice to be with you. Bruce Keeson, let me talk to you a minute. Congratulations on a win that had to come through the other night. You had a rough time in 2 games in Philadelphia, and for a fellow just 24 years of age, to come back as you did. It was tough. You had that problem with the curveball, but you solved that. And some thoughts on the game 2 nights ago and about tonight.
Plus, it's been exciting the whole year. I know early we got out slow, but, you know, what a comeback we made. And, of course, all the games in September is so very important, and especially down to last weekend, getting down to the wire like tonight, you know, it just adds that much more. The champagne tastes a little bit better.
How does it seem to 71? You were here in 71.
This has to be maybe a little bit more exciting the way we won it. Like we ran away with it in 71. We're 30 games over 500, and you know, to go down the wire like this, I mean, it's so much stress mentally and physically, but to win it, it just makes.
What were your thoughts back in May and June?
Well, I think all the guys in the club were down because we knew we were better than the way we were playing, and you know, as a famous saying of Al Oliver, that when the cream always comes to the top, and I think we've certainly done that.
That cream came to the top in the 10th inning. Scoop's really...
I got a kiss for you. Right there.
Let me talk to... Here's a guy. Bob Prince is here. I'm going to talk to Paul Popovich. He has to enjoy this. This is the first time he's been here, Bob, and he's been in baseball a long time. Paul, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, Nellie. I was just telling I feel like it. I really do. I just, you know, I was telling Bob I've been in the game 15 years, and this is my first time at this, and I really appreciate it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Poppy. You contributed an awful lot. You went in there when you had to. You came up with some real cut hits, some great parachutes, as you call them. But, you know, you consider you get a ball game like this, you finally get one ball out of the infield in 2 innings and win it. It has to just be pulsating. My heart goes out, of course, for Russell, who pitched a great game, and for poor Swisher that had to drop the ball. But it set it up, and that's part of baseball.
That's right, Bob. It was a tough game for the Cubs to lose, but we got a lot of great bunch of guys here and a lot of good ball players here, and I'm just happy to be part of this club.
Well, here's the Kansas City Quaker here, Spanky Kirkpatrick. You came over here, partner. You're on a winner. How's it feel?
Great. They told me we were going to win it, and they were right. It was a little tougher than I expected, but it's great to be there.
Spanky, I'll tell you one thing. The ball club you've had all year never has given up. I know you've been as far as 14 under, but you could have quit, but none of you did.
Well, that's right. Just an amazing bunch of athletes, and everyone kept driving, and with the ability that's here, everyone knew it would just all come together, and it has, and it's a great feeling, believe me.
Well, Spanky, congratulations. I know Joni and the kids will be happy about this. But if you spend it, don't spend your money yet. Wait a while.
Well, that's right. We're going to put it in the bank, and if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be here either, I tell you.
Well, that's exactly right. Joel Brown. Joel Brown, come over here a second. Get Joe. Hey, Mario, Chihuahua, Mexico. ¿Qué pasa?
Nada, not too much.
Nada, not too much. You're feeling pretty happy, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's been a dandy. Well, here's the general manager, Joe Brown. I'm telling you something. There's a lot of ways to win a National League championship, but I think you found one tonight I've never seen in my life.
I didn't find it. I was up there watching just like you and 22,000 others, Bob. That was just great. As I said, I think it takes a combination of a lot of effort and sweat and desire and some good breaks, too. And we got some good breaks tonight, but doggone it, our fellas really put out.
They hustled, and I think you could almost see when Oliver hit the ball, he said there was only one thing I got to do to get to third. He opened up the whole inning.
Well, Bobby can run. And he stroked the ball, and the other fellows did the rest. But he opened up the inning, as you say. But this has been a rough year so far, Bob. It hasn't been easy. As you know, we came from, 14 games back, and it seemed like 100 games under 500. But we're there now, and we've got a ways to go, but we're going to make it.
Well, I think it's going to be a very interesting situation when we come up there against those Dodgers. Bobby Robertson's here. Hey, Bobby. Come over here, you much maligned old red-headed rascal. Where'd that ball hit you? Right in the back of the head where it didn't hurt a bit?
No, it hit me on the shoulder, really. Left shoulder, yeah. The ball went in the right field. And you going to be in the hospital, man? Not really. No. I'm just going to relax a little bit.
Bob, listen, let's go back one other game that's most important. If you don't do what you did last night, we're not here celebrating tonight. That home run had to be mighty, mighty sweet.
Yeah, it was, Rob, but it was a team effort. You know, like Eddie Kirkpatrick had a good double in 5th or 6th inning or something like that. And it was a team effort all the way, and I was just glad I was part of it. And we just go on to see L.A. and see what they got to offer for us.
Well, we'll give them a battle, Robbie.
All right.
And congratulations, too. You're going to be a daddy again in sometime in the spring.
March 23rd.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, Nellie, let's get Bob Robertson over, Al Oliver. All right, can we bring it over here? Hey, Super Scoop. Super Scoop's got an interview. We'll get with him in just a moment. Doc Ellis, can we talk to you a minute, buddy? Nellie, let's talk to Doc here. How's your hand coming? We're going to need you, partner.
Well, the doctor told me I was all right, so I'm on my own now, and all I have to do is start throwing some curveballs. I should be ready to pitch maybe in about a week.
Mm-hmm. Came in here the other night, and Doc just finished throwing with Mike Ryan, and Doc says, I'll be ready for the series, and I'm going to win, too.
Right. I had that dream all along.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
How do you compare this thing with 71 when you won everything, or the previous, you've won 4 titles?
Well, Nellie, I'm cool and calm about this. I'm a veteran.
You were the first one that ran out there last night when we won that ball.
It's always exciting to win, Nellie. We've been trying it. They wrote us off this year. We came back. They said we had no pitching, but I believe we led the National League in complete games. Osborne had a lot to do with it, but we're still the Pirates. Same old Pirates. Just keep winning.
Well, that's right. Now, here's the big scoop. You didn't have any idea of going anywhere but third. Partner, were you motoring going around second?
I was not going to stop. There's no way I was going to stop because I know once I got to third base, I was confident in my teammates that some way, somehow, they would bring me in, and they did.
Well, I'll tell you, this has been one of the most remarkable years, and for you, Al Oliver, I think a vindication. You've shown everybody in baseball that you are Al Oliver, and you're a whale of a player. You've been the most consistent player in our ball club.
Well, Bob O'Neill, I hope that I have showed a lot of people. I know my first 3 years, a lot of fans warned me, but I think at the time they didn't realize what I was trying to say. Only I was trying to say I wanted to play baseball, and over the last 3 years I have got a chance to play, and I'm quite sure I've proven to everyone everywhere that I can play baseball.
Now, you made some comments I think that are pretty good about this ball club. You've been with it since '69, and it's been nothing but success since then. This club was down. You said, don't worry about this ball club. They've got a lot of pride. They like to win, and they know what it's like to win. Did you ever get really down during the early part of the season?
Not personally, because, I'm always top guy. I'm always up. I'm always optimistic and self-confident. And like I said so many times that it's easy for fans to give up on athletes. But we as athletes cannot give up on ourselves because this is our way of life, and we have to support our families, and we can give up. But all year long.
Some clubs do that sometimes, but this club hasn't. Well, why? What causes it?
Nelly, I think the reason that causes the fact that we have a lot of self-confidence in each other and also in ourselves. And once a player or a team has confidence in themselves and as a team, you can never let up.
Let me ask you one final question besides congratulating. Are you ready to play first base now?
Well, Bob, I'll say this. Let's play it by ear.
Go ahead, buddy. Well, listen, wherever you play, Al, you've been phenomenal. Just tremendous. Now let's go get those Dodgers, huh?
That sounds good to me.
All right, now here's the hitting instructor, Bob Skinner, that taught him that swinging bunt down third, that magnificent play that everybody overruns. How can we only hit one ball out of the infield in 2 innings to win a game? That is some finish, Robert Skinner.
Well, I want to tell you one thing. Danny Murtaugh can come up with all kinds of things, and he come up with something tonight that's unbelievable. How about the Buccos? They had them all away, didn't they?
Yeah, they strapped it right on them, didn't they?
Well, I'll tell you, they're a fighting bunch of players around here, and this game tonight just showed what they can do. And we'll go after those Dodgers now. We'll get them.
Well, that'll be a lot of fun. You know, Bob, you played on the 1960 World Championship team. An altogether different type ball club you had in the 60s than what you have this year.
Well, this is true. This team can score a lot of runs in a given inning, and they can do a lot of things. There's a lot of ability on this team. In 1960, we had a lot of ability on that club, but we had to get one run at a time. I think that's the difference.
Okay, now Don Leppard is here. Lep, I want to ask you something. I think Russell did a whale of a job of pitching for them. I think it's a great tribute to baseball that a team totally out of it can come in here and battle the Buccos like Russell and the Cubs did tonight.
That's true, Robert, and and like you say, it is a great tribute to baseball to have a pennant race like this with the New York Mets fighting us for every inch of the way up there, and the Cubs fighting with the Cardinals up in their ballpark, and then come fighting us here, Montreal fighting the Cardinals up there. It's just a tremendous thing for baseball, Robert.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Now, here's old man Don Osborne out of retirement one more time, the builder of this magnificent pitching staff. Now, Oz, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. One is, who the heck are you going to pitch on Saturday against the Dodgers?
It doesn't make any difference. We go to start somebody, and we got that bullpen, and so we'll just start somebody and go from there.
Well, it works out all right. You're pretty pleased with your pitching staff this year.
Proud as a peacock. I'll tell you, they come along and did a real fine job, and it's going to show you when we lost 3 pitchers during the season, where we had depth, but we come back and we stayed there and got us right into the first division.
Justy certainly has come back, too.
Oh, wonderful. He's just been great. Outstanding. He was outstanding tonight. And, you know, he's just the Justy of old right now. And he just got great location, good stuff. He's a good competitor.
Well, Oz, get your golf game in shape. When we get down to Florida, we'll be swinging at him pretty soon.
All right, Robert.
Don Osborne, our pitching coach. Okay, now get Rennie Stennis, Panama Ren over here. There he is. Rennie, how are you, buddy? Congratulations. I feel pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm really happy.
Well, you should be, because you did a great job. And, Nellie, I know you got some questions for him. I just want to say one thing, Rennie. In the last half of the season, you turned into the greatest second baseman that I saw in the National League, and I mean that sincerely. You just played baseball unbelievable, and as far as I'm concerned, your future ahead of you is going to be tremendous.
We had a talk, Rennie, in Philadelphia after a bad ball game in Houston. We related a little something about Clementi's first year up here, and I think things turned around a bit after that.
Yeah, from that time, things really turned around for me because I know you guys are more experienced in the game, and I've always known to, listen to the guys that, the older people rather. And, things that you told me about Clemento looking, straight at the hitter and stuff, I thought about that. And I said, well, if he could play, become so good a ball player after that, I could be too. And I went out.
He couldn't understand that Roberto Clemente went through the same problems he did. He's a human being. He's a young ball player like Rennie, and things became instinctive to you, and you just got the whole picture as the season went along.
Yeah, and from that, it's when I really started to, feel more relaxed in the field, and a lot of balls that I reach and stuff, it's an error, then I don't worry about that like I used to at first. And when this guy, Elmead, the guy from, after I was really hurt, although I didn't know the guy, and I saw and said, why am I, worrying about stuff like errors and getting mad when I make odd and stuff like that. And here's the guy that was hustling and got his head hit and died. I should thank God that I'm alive. And, it should make me a better ball player, and I can see it.
Puts things in better perspective.
Yes, it really does.
Ernie, how about some comments on tonight's ball game?
Well,
that ninth inning in particular.
Yeah, it started out real tough, but, I've always had the confidence in our team there. In 7-1, every time we win, the big games or important games came from the end, either 7, 8, or 9 innings. And tonight, I had a lot of confidence into when Bob Robertson swung and missed that pitch. And when he hit in the dirt and bounced away, and I was just hoping that he'd make it down there. And the guy tried to throw a good throw and hit him in the back, and I think that was the break right there from there, and I had a chance to do it. The first pitch I was right on top up, I don't know how I missed it, but the guy made some good pitches in the air.
He pitched a very good game.
He really pitched a great game.
It's a credit to baseball. In the ball club like the Cubs go on no place at all, and suddenly they give you 3 games here that you have to scratch for every run and every win.
We really have to scratch. I think we'll enjoy a victory better when we really fight hard for it.
Randy, congratulations on a great season, and good luck in the playoffs and the series.
Randy, exactly. Magnificent. Now, Danny Little Current got boxed in the Derby, went on to take 2, and this one had to be about a box job, and all of a sudden you broke from the barrier, and here you are again, the National League Eastern title. Danny Galbraith.
Well, Bob, in your terminology, we nipped him at the wire.
Yeah, well, we sure did. Never in my wildest dreams I think we'd ever get away with it.
Well, when you spot them 4-0 in the first inning, you just are down all the way. But this is the way this Cubs come. What were we back, Bob, before the 4th of July?
1,400, 500,
1,400, and now we're 14 over, 28, and that period of time is sensational ball.
It is. A funny thing, you've heard a lot of people say the game is never over to the final out. Tonight you saw a game that wasn't over after the final out. Strike 3 was the final out, and the game still wasn't over because of a fast ball.
Well, there's never been a game. I've never seen a game like this. And
I haven't either, Dan.
Bob, you talked to the fans here over the air here for quite a while before I got here, but you might have said what I'm about to say, but all of my time in baseball, there's never been one this close and this power-packed in the final moments of a ball game. The pass ball, the third strike, scoring without a base hit. These guys are scrambling like great baseball teams do. We get our hitting put together, and we're going to be the champs again, Bob.
Well, I'll tell you something. It'd be kind of fun to wear another ring or two.
You better believe it, Will.
Danny Galbraith, yes, sir. Hey,
something else.
Frankie DeVera.
Something else.
Okay, pasta, Frankie. Nada. Good to see you, my dear friend. You've played some great baseball for us, Frankie, and by gosh, you're a good hustler and a great asset to our ball club.
Oh, I got to, when we play like that, everybody got to be together. We got to go home for win for game, and I'll be happy because that's the 4th year I'll be playing the big league, and they're playing lives, and the close win, I'll be real happy.
Well, I'll tell you, last night, the way you ran the bases and you came in, and tonight, too, your speed alone is the thing that opened it up, and you just decided you were going to go over to third, and then you make the bad throw, you come in and you score. Now, you see, those are the things that win ball games, and you did it, Frank, and it's so wonderful to have you here doing it.
Thank you.
Let me ask you about, you look a little annoyed when you came out of the ball game. You wanted to hit, I think, when they sent Parker up there. You looked like you really wanted to bat that time.
Well, I like to be in the air, because I like to be like the hero, but, we want to win. When the manager put Parker in there, I'll be happy to because Parker better hitters than me, and I say we have to, win. Put Parker in there, and I'll be okay. I don't care about that.
Frank, your first year in the big leagues, you had to like what you did and the confidence. Was it easier or tougher than you thought it might be?
Well, when it's this side, I don't have too many confidence up. But later, I get my confidence. Yeah, I think I'll be okay right now, and I have my confidence. I don't care about, happens. something happened, ain't no just baseball. I don't think about that, Just going on playing baseball.
You grew up.
Right.
Congratulations. You have a son, too. First child this year, and that's congratulations, too.
Thank you.
Good. Nice seeing you, Frank.
Here's the vice president, one of the owners of the ball club, Tom Johnson. Thomas, you've seen him come from behind in a lot of different ways. You got to say tonight was a dandy.
Oh, it sure was, Bob. And you know that ninth inning and scoring those 2 runs with no hits. I mean, we just have to be a team of destiny. The way this team had picked itself off the floor early in the year, and then in and out, injuries, and here we are. And I know with this momentum they've got going, we're going on and knock Oakland's chance of trying to get 3 or Baltimore, if Baltimore should tag the Oakland people.
Well, of course, we got to get by the Dodgers first.
Yeah,
I'm not too worried about them. I think it'll be
You and I worry about every game.
Yeah, well, we have to. I think it's going to be a great thing, Tom, and I like the way the fans responded tonight, the way they were roaring for our ball club, and it makes a great difference.
Yes, I was watching the Chicago TV, Jack Brickhouse program, and they were castigating our fans as far as their behavior. Of course, I think that there was just so much emotion packed in tonight, Bob. You can't excuse what happened to our fans, and I would hope that it's the last time it'll ever happen here, but it was just a great night all in all. That's the only sour note that I can think about.
Well, that's right, and we apologize to the Cub fans on the air, but we also pointed out, Tom, that probably 99 9/10% of the people were great. It was just 1 or 2 idiots, and that's the only way I can explain it. They were idiots, and they were apprehended and taken right out of the park as they should have been.
That's great.
Well, Tom, congratulations. You got another winner going. We'll strap it on the desk.
Well, I'm so glad that you don't have to do a radio broadcast for the Cardinals.
Well, so am I, Uncle Tom. I wanted to be with my ball club.
I know you do.
And I do. Now, here's a young man we call the Frog, Larry Demery. And, Nellie, you're a pitcher, so you can probably talk to Larry a little better than I, because you've gone through the things as a rookie pitcher that he's going through.
Well, I haven't gone through the things he did.
He didn't win as many.
He won more games than one. He won more in a row than I won in my lifetime. He won 6 games in a row. And Larry, you started off slow, but you had a great period there when we lost Brett, and you picked things up. Look back on the season and what's happened here in your first year. What stands out most in your mind? What do you enjoy most?
Well, I really enjoyed just being here on the club. You know, really, when I came out, Joe Brown told me the reason why I was here, because he figured, and the rest of the staff figured, Murtaugh and the coaches figured that I could help the team out more than the other person who they had picked beside me to come up. So, like, I agree with him 100%, because, like, I will, when I go out, I will give him 100%.
Were you satisfied with what you did this year?
Yes, I was, because I really didn't have no idea, and I really just, didn't think I would even catch up to where I had got off to. And like, I was just,
You said you were going to have a 500 or better year, and you wound up with it, didn't you?
Well, I wish I could have got another start after the time I had to lay off. Because I was just beginning to get myself. Once you get in the groove of going that time, you can always finish it.
This is some group of guys, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And everybody's, pulled together for each other, too.
Larry, that's what makes the ball club a winner, and they've been doing it since 1970. Nice to have you here, and the season's still going on. Don't go away.
Oh, I'm not. I'm going to be here.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Well, I guess we've about run out of people here looking for the gunner, and let's get over here and gotta find Arthur Howe. Nobody's talked to Arthur Howe and the Kemmer Brett. Kenny, I know you don't want to have anything to drink before this celebration gets underway, but some thoughts about your first year with the Pirates and your first year with the winning team in the National League.
Well, Jerry Royce put it very nicely. You expected this when you came over here. We had the talent and material, I think, all along, but I didn't think it'd take this long. The last inning, the last out of the last game, and the last game, I think, just more or less sums up the kind of season we had. We were struggling all year, and it was an uphill battle. And now that it's over, it's a very good feeling.
It's an amazing team where you had a little bit of an off spell, and somebody comes in and fills it in. It's a unique ball club.
Right. I started off real well. Jim Rooker, on the other hand, started off real poorly. He finished up strong. Doc finished up strong until he got hurt. And Jerry pitched pretty consistently, I think, all year. But that's, I think, what you got to have. Everybody, I think, contributed a major role to get us where we are.
What stands out most in your mind about this season, this ball club?
Just the idea that we didn't give up, I think. You know, we never gave up on ourselves. And even when we were really down on ourselves, we still came out and we played hard. And, you know, we didn't count ourselves out. And I think that's the thing that got us where we are.
Well, I think you've handled yourself so well through success and through some of the problems you had in the second half of the year. It's tough to go through what you're doing physically. I know you want to pitch, and it's tough to go through what you're going through.
Well, it's not. It's a lot more fun, you know, when you come to the ballpark. You know, you're pitching well and you're winning. But you know, I think I've won one game, I think, in 2 months. But I feel I helped us get here. You know, just like everybody else on this team should feel, and you know, that's the important thing. That's the only thing that matters to me.
I'm glad you're here. Enjoy that drink too. Mike Ryan, who's guys contributed to this ball club too all season long. Michael, some thoughts about 74 in tonight's ball game.
Nellie, I'm speechless. This team is just unbelievable, and I contributed so little, and I wish I could have done more, but that's the way things go. And
when you get a guy like Stanley Jones playing every day, it's a different story.
Yeah, he's a tough man to move out there, and I give him all respect in the world. He's a tiger, he's an Iron Man, and
you got a term you call people hackers. You want to describe what a hacker is?
Well, I kind of nickname Richie as a hacker. He gets up there just like a lumberjack. He's just out there hacking at everything he sees, and the whole team are hackers. They just go out there and they swing that bat, and they just don't give up. A bunch of great competitors, and it's been a great year for me.
Let me ask you your opinion of the Pirates before you came over here and after you joined them. What's the comparison?
I'll tell you, Nellie, I've always respected this club when I was with Philadelphia, and every time we played them, I knew we had our hands full. And when I joined them, it was the same thing. You know, early in the year, like, you know, everybody counted us out, but the guys, their attitude has been something you just can't imagine, and they just kept battling, and they're not done yet. Not done yet.
Let us end on that one, okay? Nice talking to you, Mike. Gene Klein, some thoughts about 1974. Gene, you've been here since 1970, and this has been the weirdest season, I think. More ups and downs than I've ever seen.
Well, you know, we started off slow beginning of the year, and everybody had said, well, the Pirates were out of it, and we've got a type of ball club, and we have too much talent, we've got too much pride in ourselves not to believe that we can be number one. And like I was telling people, you know, earlier in the year, don't give up on us because we're going to be there at the end. A lot of people have given up on us in Pittsburgh, and you can tell by the attendance the last 4 or 5 games. But I had all the confidence in the world that we were going to be number one, and we just proved again that we have great talent and that we are capable of coming in first place every year.
Well, it sure showed up here tonight. It's amazing to come from 4 runs behind in the first inning and still keep going, too. So we're live and direct from KDKA. Dave Augustine, you want to repeat that last comment, or would you prefer to pass that one by? Let me talk to Richie Zisker. Richie, number 1 for you last year went down to the final day of the season. We didn't taste the victory, but how about comparing your 2 years in the big league?
I don't think you can really compare the 2 years. Last year was a bitter disappointment. We had a chance, and it went down to the last day of the season, and of course we lost. This year it went down to the last day of the season again, and with some timely hitting and some key breaks, we turned it around, and there's no comparison. This is the greatest feeling I've ever had. This is what I've been striving for. Big league baseball, but you're here to win. And I think the fantastic thing is that they wrote us off all year. They said we couldn't do it, and after a fight that Bruce Keeson started, we pulled together, we started acting as a unit, and it's amazing, and it's just a great feeling, one that I'm going to remember a long time.
You go back to that July 14th game, and that evidently was a turning point.
I guess it has to be. Maybe not so much physically. Maybe we didn't do anything physically different, but mentally.
Well, what do you think that was? Just everybody suddenly came together?
I think when everybody turned around and realized that we're all swinging and acting as one person, and one of our guys had the unfortunate experience of being bit, and one of them wound up with a black eye, and we gave a few black eyes. I think when we walked off the field, we realized that we're all pulling for the same thing, and didn't realize this in the beginning. And I think that may have been the reason why we turned it around.
How about the month of September? It got a little bit hairy, and that's really where the pressure baseball comes, and your first real good taste of that. How did you feel about it yourself?
I'm just sorry that I couldn't contribute more. I've been doing...
Well, you did well. The first part of September, you came up with a strep throat, and your bat got heavy, I think.
It got more than heavy. It started weighing a ton. There for a while, I lost a lot of strength. So I'm not making excuses. I wish I could have contributed more to our pennant stretch, but
The fact that a major league championship ball club is made up more than just one person. It takes 25 guys to win, and I'm just glad that I was a part of it. And the games in September, they were outstanding. We won a couple we shouldn't have won. We lost a couple that we should have won, and the breaks went our way, the breaks went against us, and it just boiled down to good, solid baseball.
Richie, congratulations. We're going to try and grab Jerry Royce here and let me take 5 from him.
Thank you, Nellie. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Gunner, how about grabbing Jerry Royce? Yeah, we talked to David already, and how about grabbing Jerry Royce? You want to talk with Jerry? Jerry Royce over here, and Jerry, congratulations on a great season.
But I do want to remind you, yes, I do want to remind you that as terrible as you've been with your language, this is a broadcast. This is really life.
That's right. You remember the same thing, though.
Yes, I do. Say, seriously, Jerry, I know you've seen in a lot of ball games and everything, appeared in a lot of them. You got to admit, I think that I'll get this cigarette out of your waist. Do you admit that this is a game that defies description?
One of those things that you almost wonder if we were destined to win it. Yeah, you get 2 runs out hitting the ball out of the infield, a couple of walks, and then a ground ball that just doesn't get through. But then you get a strikeout, and the ball gets away from the catcher. He can't pick it up, and then he throws it and hits Robertson in the back of the head. It's unbelievable. And we tie it up that way. We come on and win it the way we did.
You know, they've always said the game is never over till the final out. Tonight we saw a ball game that wasn't over when the final out was recorded. That's the strikeout for the 3rd out of the inning, and then the pass ball, which, of course, made it obligatory that they get the 4th out, which they never got.
Made it what?
Obligatory.
What does obligatory mean?
Well, you know exactly what it means. Don't give me that stuff. Jerry, as far as your own personal feelings this year, how did you feel about your season?
Well, I felt it could have been a lot better with a little luck here and there, but then again, it could have been a lot worse with a few more bad breaks. It's one of those things. It could have been better. It could have been worse. I'm looking back at it right now. The most important thing is that we won, and even more important than that is what the future holds for us right now. We got your drive for 5, and we got 5 ball games left, and it's not really what you did in the past. It's what's happened.
But however, if you look back over the series when we went into New York, you won the pivotal ball game for us, the 2-1 contest. That was a pivotal game, if you'll recall, because the first game we had a lot of runs, the 3rd game we had a lot of runs, and the game that you won that really kept us in there, 2-1, I think was the pivotal game of that road trip.
I don't know. You can call it what you want. I could have won last night, too, and pitched a little better ball game, but as far as I'm concerned, this ball game right here was the one that we had to win. I guess that goes without speaking, but as far as looking back and trying to figure out which ball game meant the most, I think the one we lost to St. Louis, had we could have won it, would have made things a lot different. I'm just glad that we rebounded the way we did.
All right, I'll make you one final promise. When we go to spring training, I'll quit smoking if you get off my back.
Get off your back, all right.
Okay, Jerry Royce, thank you very much. Congratulations. All right, here we go now. Nellie, we got...
Let's talk to Darryl Patterson here, Bob. Hey, Darryl, let me talk to you a minute. We're just talking to Richie Zisco there. He's talking about the July 14th ball game with Cincinnati, and you were up at that time, and you went down to Charleston, but you contributed something to this ball club. When you win by just one game, you look back and you saved the game and won one back against them, but also that ball game against Cincinnati. Maybe some thoughts of Darryl Patterson on this win this year.
Well, it's really terrific, Nellie. It just makes my career complete now. You know, being back on the winner again after scuffling through baseball the last 3 or 4 years, and this is just the epitome. You know, I really am at a very great height. I don't know how to express myself in words.
Well, in '68, you were with Detroit, a very good ball club too. How do these 2 teams compare? There must be some sort of chemistry there.
Well, both fine, very fine clubs, and it just seemed like tonight that it was fate. I mean, just the way I watched the game down there, we were supposed to win, and there's just no way we're going to lose. I think it was fate all the way tonight.
It sure looked like it when you strike a guy out on a 3-2 pitch in the 9th inning, and it looks like it's all over, and you wind up with a tie.
Oh, darn.
You knew you had to win it then.
That's right. We were going to win that game, and it's just terrific. I'm just glad to be here.
We're glad to have you here, and congratulations on your help this year, too. Darryl Patterson. We're trying to get Richie Hebner if he's around here someplace and trying to grab Richie. Augie, I've been through that one before, Augie, and I don't want to blow the victory horn. That's a funny victory horn they got. Everything blows out of it. What do you say, Spanky? What's happening? Where are you, Spank?
Well, I'm up on about cloud 10. I'm even above that other one up there.
Hey, no, if you think it was if you think it was cold on the mound, you should have seen how cold it was where I was, how high I was out there.
Were you high in that first inning?
Oh, God, I was,
Jim Rooker.
What can I say? I was walking on clouds when I went out there. I figured, this is the game, and
you have had first inning problems all the time. When you keyed up, remember you said out in Los Angeles, you overthrew the ball. Were you doing that in the first inning again?
That's right. I couldn't believe. I had a little shoulder problem in New York when the last start, and I was concerned about it. When I got done warming up tonight, I felt better than I have all year long, and you just get a tendency to overthrow the ball, and that's what I did. And, then you kind of get your thoughts together and tell yourself, hey, this ain't the right thing to do, and you got to go out there and, go after them and hold them right where they are.
I tell you, he told us, he said, go get the run. He said, they won't get any more, and they ain't get any more, so you got to believe him next time, right? You got to believe. When are you going to pitch again? Who said that?
I don't know. Probably, I hope Sunday.
Good. We'll be looking for you. Jim Rooker, Spanky Kirkpatrick, good to see them. Gunner, is Richie around? Bob. Haven't around today? I think we've talked to just about every we can. He's in the shower, and I'm not going in the shower to get him. Let me talk to Danny Murtaugh. Daniel, you've been running around here. We've been trying to get you and some thoughts on 1974. It's been a funny season, but I guess a rewarding one.
Yes, Nellie, I said in the room there that this club will never get all the recognition that they deserve because of the fact that we were so doggone far behind. We had been written up and as practically out of the race, and yet they came back to win it. When you have a club like that plays about, I'd say, 680 ball the last 2 months of season, that's a pretty good come-from-behind ball club.
It's a tremendous comeback, and you were 14 games out at one time, and you still thought that this ball club could win. You predicated it. I think you knew you had good pitching, didn't you?
Yes, I thought pitching was the key to our whole ball club. Our starters gave us a lot of innings.
And you like to get that, 6 innings or 7?
Oh, my, when you get down the bullpen with Roy Ramon and Jesse pitches, and we get down that 7th and 8th and 9th, and we can be a little rough.
You were so certain about 2 weeks ago. We had lost, I think, 6 in a row. The Cardinals had won 6 in a row, and you said, this ball club's going to win the pennant. Why did you make it at that time?
Well, Nellie, I've never been with a club yet that hasn't had a losing streak right near the end or somewhere. And I thought that as soon as we won that last game after we lost the 6 in a row, that we were going to turn right around and go on a streak, which we did.
Is there any one win that was more satisfying or bigger to you? I keep looking back to the play Manny made against Lou Brock, throwing him out in the 9th inning when he tried to steal third. That one play there, that game probably meant as much, and maybe that one play meant as much.
I'd have to think so. That's because that set up the whole series. It gave us 2 out of 3 instead of them 2 out of 3.
Another thing I wanted to say, congratulations to you. You had a lead in St. Louis, 3 runs. You went with a couple of young kids. I think a lot of people were critical of that. The reason you said you were never going to go away from your pitching staff, you kept your rotation, and you turned out to be right.
Well, Nellie, I can't see any sense of winning 1 ball game if you're going to lose 4. And the way the pitching was set up for that series, I had my middleman pitching, the 2 guys that just pitched the 2 days before, and I wasn't going to use them, and I had 2 men in mind to pitch the next 2 games in New York. It couldn't have been too bad because we won 6 out of the last 7.
And those are games you had to win. It's similar to the 1970 ball club. You had to win then, and you did.
That's right.
Danny Murtaugh in 1975. What's it look like? You're not going to talk?
No, I'm not talking.
Okay. Danny, congratulations.
Right.
I think the only guy we haven't talked to here might be Willie Scargelin. We'll have an opportunity. Whenever you're ready. Okay. I don't know where it is. Do you have it? We just say close for the... Okay. Willie, can I interrupt you for just a closing comment here? I don't think we talked to you yet. And I hated to miss you because we're going to sign off here. You've been around here, I guess. Well, you have been. You're starting to gray. You're older than anybody else around here. Some thoughts on this year as against other previous successful seasons?
Well, Nellie, I'll tell you, this year has to have more of an impact on me personally than any other year. We won by great margins in so many years, and the fact that we were really down and really struggling and really written off, and we never gave up on ourselves. We collectively contributed. And the fact that we had to go down to the last pitch, the last run, the last day.
Is this more satisfying?
It is, because it meant that if we lost, there was a chance we were going to have to listen to much Montreal and St. Louis game tomorrow night as they listen to ours tonight, and there was a possibility we had another sudden death playoff. So it was just a thrilling thing. We came to the cause and we fought the element.
Kenny Britt put it pretty well. We were talking over here. He says, you know, one guy can have a bad night or a bad month, and there's always somebody else coming along and picking this thing up.
That's exactly right. We utilize our 25-man roster probably as good as anybody in the league, and the fact that Danny never got to the point where he wasn't afraid to use anyone, he instilled confidence at times when a guy wasn't doing his job. Well, like the last 3 nights when, I wasn't doing anything. He stayed with me. He called guys in to do various things. Popovich, Howell, Robinson, you name it, and we've done it. The pitching from A to Z. And this is what it really means. I'm trying to get around and congratulate everyone and let them know that, hey, you did one outstanding job. And the fans, too. And
the ones that were here were about as enthusiastic this year, I think, as any I've ever seen.
And I think the thing that happened tonight, it's unfortunate that it happened, but we also have to be glad that no one really got hurt. I don't think it was a matter of malice. It was just something out of reaction. Everybody was so excited. We're just very excited.
Willie, congratulations on a whale of a season. We'll look forward to the Dodgers and whoever else after that. Well, I guess we've run out of time here. We talked to Steve Blass. Here's a guy sitting back here smoking a cigar and having a beer, and you're sitting here and you haven't pitched a ball this year in major leagues, and you must have some longing thoughts about all this.
Oh, yeah. It's still good to see, though, the congestion in the clubhouse. I guess this game, from what I understand, just typified the whole season. This game characterized the whole thing, being down and struggling, coming back and just making it by a little bit. But if you make it by a little bit, you've made it.
Like Murtaugh likened it to 1970, when you had to win ball games, you won them. And that's something we didn't do last year.
That's right. And you struggle for them, and it hurts when you're struggling. But when you get in here and you can relax and unwind, well, it makes you feel a little better because you know you've really done a little extra to earn them.
Well, Steve, we wish well for you and get everything together for next year. Wouldn't be bad to have you and Moose come back and Doc and have some more fun.
Sounds like a good idea now.
Steve Blass, nice to be with you, Steve. I guess we've run out of time here. I'm looking for the gunner. Maybe we can kiss a goodbye here or something. Wherever he is. Robert. Bob. I love you, Nellie. No, I know. You always say that, but you never mean it. Tony Barterome. I guess we're going to wind this up. You got some final comments you want to say about... You've been here for 27 years, and you've never gone down to the last day or the overtime to win a pennant.
Never in my life, Nellie, have I seen anything like this, and I'm just so happy because I know what it means to most of these guys. I know what it means to you. I know what it means to our ownership, and you know what it means to me. Now, let's just do one thing. Like I said, John Osborne, who are you going to pitch Saturday? He says, the way we're playing, who cares? And I guess maybe that's about the story. I think it's a great break for us, too, in another way, Nellie. It gives us a couple of days now to get the tension out of us from that point and be ready for the big one.
Robert, enjoy the year with you.
Being with you, buddy. And hey, we're not through.
Oh, no, we're going.
Start up Saturday, aren't we?
Right. Be ready for him. How do you sign off the baseball network here?
I think you just...
What do we say? Well, let's say goodbye from the clubhouse. This is the Pittsburgh Pirates Baseball Network.
Right.